why your phone's like that, but it might be better on YouTube.
You're really going to have to tuck in, by the way. Are we going to get everyone? Aaron Bauer's watching. Hello, Aaron Bauer.
Looking for tips.
Surely
on
he's got something better to do.
I don't know.
The YouTube stream's better. I don't know why. This is what happens when you employ people who don't know what they're doing to do a job. It's like the Rugby Football League.
I'm not sure why that didn't work though.
No, I don't know.
You're not on screen now. That's the problem. You're still not on screen.
You won't get on screen, like. Normally it's lengthwise, isn't it? It's normally lengthwise.
We've got an issue with our length, listener. We've got an issue with our length. I mean, that is where we start this show this week. And I have to start with an apology, given that I'm the only one on camera.
Apparently no one can hear us either. Do you reckon that's without... Well, now can hear your phone.
Yes. Yeah. Very quiet, says Mark. Very quiet. What's happening? We're just doing a few tests here. Bear with us, caller. Our producer's left us. Yeah. He's left. He didn't exist, and now he's not here. So what happens now?
We're in the lurch.
We're in the lurch. A lot of people are watching.
And now he's not here.
Well, I can hear it, but it's...
Well, that's me. I can hear myself. Yeah. Shall we take the mic? Shall we take our mic out? Do you think that could be the reason?
Shall I do that?
Yeah, in terms of the volume. Very quiet, fellas. As, we're having a few technical issues today.
I've not started yet. I won't be quiet.
You don't need to be.
Do you want me to stop and start again? I'll just...
Yeah, we're going to stop, listener, and we'll be back with you in a minute.
If you go on YouTube though...
We'll be back with us in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll stop. Finish.
We've got 100 people watching us doing a live screen test.
They can still hear us on YouTube, by the way.
You can still hear us on YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Is it to do with the settings on the phone?
I don't know.
Why don't you use your phone if you know your phone or yours is on there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you use this one, Rich?
Does yours work better?
Yes.
The pictures on people are watching you, you've got the wrong sound and the wrong camera.
Yeah, we know.
But apart from that...
Apart from that, we're working fine.
we undo that.
Try that one, Rich.
I'm just going to...
You don't get this in other organisations.
We are still live, by the way, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Hello, YouTube. Have you turned the volume up?
Do I need to turn it right up?
I don't know, it might not be on.
It is on full. Shall I just start to see what happens?
Yeah, start again.
Yeah.
Are we on this time?
We are. And we're the right way around this time.
Are we the right way around?
Yeah.
I haven't had a notification
Yeah,
to here though.
I don't know, I genuinely don't know how that's happened. Because nothing's changed, has it, apart from I've unplugged the iRig.
No.
Hello viewers.
Hello viewers, hold on, there's a theory we might be back. Bear with us,
I
caller.
don't know if they can hear us, but...
You can now hear us apparently.
Oh, can you?
I don't know, I'm just saying these things. I'm randomly talking to myself.
I think we should just bin off the technology.
How come we've been off the technology? It's what we're on.
It never seems to work. Do you have a rich man pay for us all that stuff and it worked?
We're still on the wrong way.
We're not. What's
No, that's the right way.
That's the right way.
Do you have to watch like that?
Oh yeah, it is. I don't know what that's doing that. Where's our former producer?
This isn't no good. People are going to be switching off. Producer Richard, not as good as producer other guy.
Do you think if I turn it upside down? I've not done anything.
This is just live upside down in now.
Yeah.
No, we are upside down now. I suggest you use this one, Richard.
Okay. Right, I'll stop again. 69 people watching us. This is a fun way to watch, says Mark. Come on, I'm going to...
If Scotty falls out of his chair.
Wrong way still. I know, I'm just turning off.
I am here, you've not heard me yet. You've not heard me yet, but I'm here.
Wrong way still. I know, I'm just turning off. I am here. You've not heard me yet, but I'm here.
This is what the people want.
Well, I won't go that far.
Right. 18 comments all telling us, yeah, it's not working.
We're still on YouTube.
We're still on YouTube.
Millions watching
Yeah.
there, Scotty. Millions.
20.
Yeah, hello to the people.
20 people watching on the
Cheers,
YouTube.
20.
Can I ring the bell, or am I not allowed?
I don't know actually.
It's probably something to do with settings, Rich, that we've broken.
The thing is, I don't want black and white, I don't want that.
Apologies to our millions of listeners. Phil's getting worried.
Right, we'll go again. Right, you tell me when it comes up. If we're the right way around.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I can't get it on this phone, you'll have to check it on.
I've never seen Gary so quiet, says Gary.
Gary's behaving himself. That's good.
No, he's not. He's keeping his power.
People are commenting on YouTube.
I'm worried.
Right, we're on.
It's working.
See us.
It's your phone. Your phone's good. That phone, I don't know where you've got that from, but I'd send it back. A little in joke there for the giver. Apologies to YouTube for walking past you there in your t-shirt.
No, hold on, it's frozen, Rich.
That's it.
Oh, Rich, come on.
Yeah, I've just walked past it.
Well, I can't see you on here. This is live TV, folks. That's all it is. Just live TV.
Any of Steve would have to put with this.
Imagine the 1970s when we had those strikes. It's just like...
Right, we're working.
Yeah,
we're back.
working.
We're there. I can hear everyone. Right, hello.
Mark, all you have to do, just press go.
Go. I wish I could press go on you. Hello, everybody. Apologies for 7 minutes and 43 seconds of absolute uselessness. The bad news for you, you've got another 1 minute 52 and 11 seconds of it to come.
We'll edit that for the podcast.
We'll edit that bit out for the podcast. You'll still get your 2 hours. You get what you pay for on this show. I've got an apology to make.
Hey?
I haven't got my official match strip on, so I've been fined. So there you go. Been yellow carded by the official Subbuteo referee, and I've also been banned. I'm not allowed to ring the bell anymore because I rang the bell last week. I'm causing accidents. We've had more requests in about not ringing the bell than about the show. Right? And also, I've been told off saying we don't mention the other teams out of Yorkshire enough, which I think is rubbish, but hey, I'll listen to everything our listeners say. And there you go. So
we'll
here
talk
we
a lot
are.
about Catalan tonight.
We'll talk a lot about Catalan. Thanks to everyone that has born with us, bared with us, stuck with us. That'll do.
Phil sells books, he should know these words. Yeah, dictionary.
Yeah, I get a dictionary. Have you got any dictionaries, Phil? Right, we've got a dictionary, I'll get one. Scotty will shoplift it later, I'll give him a £5 on relief. Richard Shortwright is here, he's got his kit on, so he gets full pay this week. Phil Kaplan is here, he also gets full pay. And Scotty, as ever, gets full pay for wearing his t-shirt. And that's it, we are here. What do we want to get stuck into, boys? What do we want to...
As has been pointed out by Gary on the YouTube, rugby league games never kick off on time.
There you go. There you go.
Headingley on Friday, remember what day it was. Yes, there was a minute silence, that's fair enough, but it still kicked off 7 minutes late. When?
And it wasn't on telly.
No.
I think we should start by paying tribute to Dom Manfredi, which we were asked to do before we get into the machinations of the politics of last week, any of the action on the field, the story of Dom Manfredi waiting 2 years to get back on the field, scored a couple of tries. It's a fabulous story. It's almost the story of rugby league in one man's perseverance. So
pleased for him, delighted for him.
If I was wearing a hat, I would raise it to
I was delighted for him, absolutely delighted, and even more delighted because Wigan were the last bit of my accumulator I needed. So well done, Dom Manfredi. Pleased for that. Scott, it's nice. I mean, you've been a professional sportsman. Someone gets injured out for that length of time. I mean, they must doubt. He must have doubted at times he's ever going to play again.
Well, when you look at it was, I think we were around about 627 days or something like that, or whatever. But I tell you what, the way that he played on the Friday night, it looked like he'd never been away. You know, but yeah, the frustrating times. It was. I tell you what, Danny Outland spoke about the dark days, the dark times at the Hull FC, the dressing room from there. Well, one thing for sure, what Manfredi would have been, he would have had the dark times. He would have been thinking. First of all, he'd been saying, "Why me?" You know, but unfortunately, you know, sport does that to you. It could be a complete accident, and it happened to him twice from there. But I think the not just the professionalism showed inside himself, but I think from Wigan, the way they didn't bin him, you know, thinking of team, because they know they've got a quality player there. They could have quite easily, you know, after all that time said, right, okay, then we might just let you go out alone and see how you're progressing. But from Manfredi's point of view, from his professional attitude, the enjoyment what he must get playing this greatest game of all, and also as well, you know, the ambition what he wanted to put on that Wigan jersey again, and the way that he played, as I mentioned just earlier on Friday night, looked like he'd never been away. Sheer quality. He is like a new signing for Wigan at the right time of the season.
Here's the question: Tom Davis, Liam Marshall,
competition for places, Phil.
Dom Manfredi.
Phil, competition for places, just exactly what Sean Wayne wants. And what he's shown.
Won't be there then.
Manfredi's put a marker down from there and said to Sean, hey, listen, I'm ready for the big time. Well, I'm ready for the business end of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's only got what 4 more games potentially to play under Sean Wayne, of course.
Do you know what, mate? I chuckle to myself now. Every time I see Wigan play, I chuckle to myself thinking, Lenigan, what the hell you've done?
Yeah, but we know
Lenigan, what the hell have you done?
The truth is now out about Sean Wayne. He's not going to Rugby Union. Picture here.
Yes, have you seen I forgot. You see, I forgot again. I'm that flustered with the RFL. What happened was the RFL rang us up 5 minutes before we went on air and said, "Do you mind putting your show on Tuesday?" But obviously, due to our corporate hospitality and everything, we refused. And no, we've got to play on Monday.
They actually said, "Could we change the structure before you go on air?"
Yeah, and we went, "What structure?" Yeah, no, so. Yeah, well done, Dom Manfredi.
Well, listen, let me just say this. When you talk about a structure, Wigan, at this moment in time, have got the exact perfect structure. Sean Wayne is the head coach. All his coaching team from there. They've got Wigan juniors, left, right and centre in that side. They've got a winning side. They've got a side that are playing attractive rugby league. And what has Lenigan gone and done? He's let Sean Wayne leave because he's interfered. Why? Honestly, it makes me laugh. The way that I see it, because how much enjoyment is Sean Wayne getting and how much of his players still enjoy
we've asked the question. I think Richard put it out on Twitter. You can get in touch at Forty20 Live. You can get in touch on the comments on Facebook. You can get in touch via the YouTube. Please share it and like it. We're obviously having a few technical, you know, we're making up as we go along. We're not going to lie. We had one bit of production brilliance and he's left. He's had a better offer.
Is he coming back?
And he's left. I don't know. I think he's just gone. I think he's gone and we've disowned him, so we can never speak of him again.
Right.
Hopefully he might be here next week.
Fingers crossed. He better not be late.
Yeah, so we'll worry about that next week. We have put a Twitter poll out. Who's going to win the grand final? We'll have a chat about this. I think we'll talk about the various teams that we know are going to be involved in the semi-finals. Wigan are one of them. You know, I've got a reasonable bet on. I had Catalan to win the cup and Cass to win the grand final. I desperately want Cass to win for financial reasons. But I've got to be honest. I think Wigan, they had that maybe a month blip, didn't they, when they found out where they were going, and the place fell apart, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I think they've got their heads around it, and they've come back together now. And I think, and you say it's not disrespectful to St Helens and Warrington. I think the final people want to see is Wigan Castleford. They want to see Powell and Wayne go head to head.
Yeah, but they're not going to see it, are they?
They're not.
The only position that's going to change is maybe if Wigan, they won't beat loose Wooders from the certainly won't lose to Hull the last game of the season. So it's done. You know, so it ain't going to change. Yeah, we'd all love to see, you know, no disrespect to Saints and Warrington, that would be a great grand final, but that's not going to happen because they're going to play each other from there. But I tell you what though, to be honest with you fellas, aren't you fed up of watching the crap what is about at the moment? I'm not apologising for using that word because I've been speaking to fans over the weekend and the teams even there, even my beloved Leeds with that dross what was on there on Friday night, they are just fed up now of watching crap rugby league. Well, what we need to get is certainly, can we just not fast forward now 2 weeks and get to the semi-final so we can watch proper quality rugby league, because what we are watching at the moment is absolute dross.
But this will link into any debate we're going to have about what happened on Friday and the ramifications of that.
Yeah.
Because I understand some of the why. I don't understand any of the how. How is the Messiah, otherwise known as Rob Elston, going to go out and sell this fabulous sport to new sponsors? If he hasn't got the product, because your structure isn't going to change the product. You're
a more intelligent fellow than me, so you will go into that. So I just want to go into that. I might just be about a couple of minutes here. So you mentioned in here the Messiah Elston. Opportunity knocks, says McManus. We can look ahead with optimism, says Pearson. And then Lenigan, who's going to be the leader of all this, we're on the move, says Lenigan. Right. So what I want to say is, all we're talking about is the products. The product at the moment is rubbish. For the last 3 years, the quality has dropped. The next point, what these guys are saying is, we've got the greatest game of all. What we need to do now is promote it and market it. Right then, let me just go back to the start of the season and for all this season. The start of the season, we had the marketing ploy on Sky with the Brownlee brothers. Pathetic. Then we had the Magic Weekend.
I still want to ring the bell.
Hold on.
I want to ring the bell.
Hold on, because I'm on one here. I'm on one here. The Magic Weekend, promoting and marketing, pathetic. The Summer Bash, promoting and marketing, pathetic. The Challenge Cup, promoting, marketing, pathetic. The Grand Final, promoting, marketing, pathetic. And then we've got the Test Series at the end of the season, promoting, marketing, absolutely pathetic. Right, so when I worked it all out here, when they're all talking about the greatest game of all, and by the way, they've only got the club interest. They couldn't care less about the game as a whole of Rugby League, right? So why are they not talking about, Phil, as you will do, and I'll just bring it up, the quality of the game as it's going? For the last 3 years, the quality of Rugby League, what we have seen, is getting worse and worse and worse. And then secondly, where is this quality going to be coming from? The partition levels and participation of players coming into the game is pathetic. The players who are leaving the game at 18, 19 is even worse. So where is this quality going to come from the products, what we want? It's absolutely pathetic. And when I worked it all out, after Friday, when it came out from the structure, do you know what it's all about? Because when correct, Mr. Kaplan, when the TV deal comes up in 2021 and Sky say, what do they get now? Is it 40 million, 43 million? And when the Sky say, right then, we're only giving you 30 million, that's what it's all about. Then 4 people there and Super League controlling the funds. It's goodbye Championship, goodbye League One. Can I just put a suggestion in here? If I was in charge of a League One club or Championship, if I was one of a Charmers or if I was a chairman of a club, do you know what I would be saying to the RFL? And I tell you what I want to propose. A Championship and League One, we go back to Winter Rugby League. 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Sunday afternoon. I'll tell you what, that'll get a response. And I'll tell you what, Super League, go fend for yourself. Simple as that. And that's me up the soapbox.
Why have we pretty much come out as a sport and said, oh, we're not going to get as much money next time from Sky? That just invites Sky to pay less money. Whether they've said that or not. Why have we come out and said that? Are we sick? Mind you, this Championship and League One advisory group, which obviously is as well cohesive as the Conservative government right now, because half of the people voted against and half voted for and whatever, and it doesn't matter who voted for what, it doesn't matter. They're deluded. They're deluded, they think.
Yeah, but it's because they know the money's going to be less. And this is why they have come up with this. They have bullied the teams. The other teams that have been bullied have been gutless. The 9 teams who voted for this, absolutely gutless. I couldn't care less, you know, what you say about this whatsoever. You have been gutless. You have not done it for the good of the sport from there. And as I say, it's all about, not about the structure, not about promoting, not about marketing, not about quality coming through, not about participation level. It's all about 2021. When the Sky deal comes up, we want all the money and the rest of you can see you later. That is what it is in a nutshell.
Who came up with the structure to end the Championship / League One promotion, relegation, and playoff
it was
disaster?
the representatives of the RFL in the meeting with the Championship 1 and League One clubs, but presumably they had to ratify it, or at least say they in part agreed with it. And people are going to say, oh, don't talk about politics too much tonight, but I guess it is a starting point, because we supposedly are all celebrating the brand new era that came on Friday. People interviewed as they came out of the meeting saying there's never been as much unity and we're totally behind this new structure. It's the springboard that we need to take the game. Exactly the same quotes that they said when the 8s came out. And I think, again, that the issue here is not even about monetary distribution. I get, and I think even every Championship and League One club gets the fact that your spotlight is Super League. And if that shines brightly and there is a mechanism by which some of the light trickles down to the other divisions, that is how all sport works these days. The problem is, just because you've changed the structure and the governance, what are we doing about the product on the pitch? I think one of the most worrying things that were heard in the immediate aftermath was that there's been a Super League chairman's meeting today.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the things that's on the agenda is how do we change the game on the field to make it more attractive? When has that been Super League's prerogative to do that? It's something that's got to be game-wide. And one of the things I think that has come out of all of this discussion, whichever side of the fence you're on, is the fact that we don't have any governance anymore. I think the RFL has reduced itself to being a service agent for Super League now. So you may as well get rid of all of the senior structure of RFL management, and they can just have a service level agreement with Super League.
The RFL have been, what them clubs who jumped into bed with the Super League clubs, the RFL is exactly the same as them clubs. Gutless. Absolutely gutless for the good of the greatest game of all, and that's Rugby League.
You see, I mean, it's easy for us to say, oh, you've been gutless, but they lose their funding.
Yeah, I understand.
They're gone. They're done.
Yeah, but actually, they are supposedly in charge of Rugby Football League. Isn't the governing body called the Rugby Football League? They should be in charge of everybody, from the top to the middle, to the bottom, to the amateur game, to the army, you know, of everything from there. They should be running the game, shouldn't they? They should be in charge. They are the governors.
I think there's another issue here about part of the relinquishing of the monies back to Super League is to allow the Championship and League One clubs to have their own sellable television rights. We need to all be really honest here. There is no value in that at the moment. You know, nobody is falling over themselves, no broadcaster. However much we may love watching Championship and League One Rugby League, to put money into televising that. Now, each individual club may have an income stream doing their own games, but no one is coming forward to film Championship and League One games.
Well, in fairness, Phil, no one's been asked. No one has been asked.
I think they have. I think some work has been done, and there isn't anybody coming forward, even to take the rights off Sky and allow the games to be filmed.
I want you to elaborate. How do you know that, or what leads you to think that's happening?
I think that is part of the discussion that's gone on with the Championship and League One advisory groups to find out what their product is worth. And at the moment, the value is nil because no broadcasters are coming forward.
Well, that's
I think you can stream it.
What's the value of the Challenge Cup then?
Well,
is that nil as well? Because we just give it to the BBC.
I think
this is not an anti-BBC.
I think that's because that has 1 million viewers. That has a value. Sponsors are interested in being associated with something.
What
that has
sponsors have we got?
Well, Ladbrokes.
Right, who paid peanuts by their own admission.
Paid
peanuts.
May not be there next year.
Right, so we give away the only thing that the sport has got to sell. Right, we've given it to the Beeb. This is not knocking the Beeb. I enjoy the Beeb coverage. Right, not knocking. I think Mark Chapman is one of the best people on sport. He's presenting our sport. That is a good thing. Right, he's good, but we give our sport away. It's commercially sensitive that we don't tell how much people have paid for anything. That, in businessmen's terms, that it means they ain't got bugger all for it, right? That's what's happened. And Robert Elston now needs to come in, and we met the point, people going about Eddie Hearn, about blah blah blah. When Eddie Hearn sells something, it's the biggest and best thing that's ever been sold. That's his words, not necessarily mine. Joshua fighting in front of 90,000 people at Wembley. He's going to fight in front of another 80,000 this week. It's massive. It'll be generating massive money, income. That's what it's all about. It's all driven by income. Our sport is not driven by anything like that. They don't sell anything. Everything we give away, we just give it away basically.
But that's the argument.
And that needs to change.
Well, that's the argument why Super League want control over their product.
I get that.
But there's got to be people out there that want to be associated with it.
Right, but I go back again, right? Why are you going to want to be associated with something on the BBC when you can't have an advert? Look at football on Sky, right? It's sponsored by bookmakers. Bookmakers are all over it, right? Whether you agree with gambling or not. Why? Because they can have adverts on the telly, they can have Ray Winston on the telly, they can have whoever on the telly saying, bet with us, bet on this, bet on that, bet on this. And people do bet. And that's what generates money. You can't have those adverts on the BBC.
I think you have to have a mixture. And cricket would tell you that they've got the balance wrong. that it's almost disappeared from public consciousness because there's nothing.
No one's
now
morning it's not on the BBC.
No, it's
the morning it's not on terrestrial TV.
Yeah.
So my point is, and this is the issue I have, and this is what I hope Elston's going to change, is that when the deal for all the other TV stuff was done, no one spoke to Channel 4, no one spoke to ITV, and no one spoke to the other free-to-view channels. That hasn't happened, and that needs to change. So there are so many basic things that need changing that I'm hoping Robert Elston is going to change.
I think you'll also find that the reason that the Championship football highlights are no longer on Channel 4 or Channel 5 but are on a
Quest, it's called.
Is it Quest? I even forgot the name. That's the way sport's going.
Yeah, but also, Phil, without being rude, is if you follow your club or you've got Sky, you can see those highlights 5 seconds after the final whistle's gone. You don't need to wait until 9:30 to watch it on Channel 5 or whatever.
And that's what the NRL are doing really well at the moment, because they know they've got their saturated TV. They will never get a deal as good as they've got at the moment, because television is going in such a way that that level of money won't be. But you can see a try scored on Twitter a second after it's happened.
I was working on Saturday and didn't have access to the Sky Sports channel that had the NRL on, but I could go onto their Twitter feed and see what had happened.
Absolutely.
But what I could also see on Sky Sports on the same day, because I couldn't watch Widnes and Halifax, but I could watch the channel that showed Women's Rugby Union Wasps versus somebody else I can't remember, and Ealing Trailfinders versus Yorkshire Carnegie, of course, who represent the whole of Yorkshire. Typical Leeds arrogance. I get banned from there now.
You won't get out of here.
Well,
never mind, banned from there.
Well, I'm not standing in his way. Phil's going to wall him up.
But why were they on TV? Because obviously whoever does the RFU's TV deal says if you want to show the England Autumn Internationals, you have to show this as well.
The RFU pay production costs, which we don't.
But also as well, you mentioned there in the NRL, you know, saying, well, they won't get another TV deal like that again. I tell you, well, why not? Because when you look at the quality,
no, it's only that amount of money isn't available.
Oh, Phil, when you look at you know yourself because you watch it week in and week out. When you look at the products, what they have got there, when you look at the excitement, not just at semi-final time or the business end, week in and week out, people want to watch it, and boy oh boy, how exciting is that?
They've set up this digital NRL channel.
No, Phil, I'm on about
because they know the way.
I'm on about the products on the field. I'm on about the products on the field.
They've already taken account of the fact that they're not going to be getting the same amount of money. We're just starting from a very low level, almost saying to Sky, please give us something with the figures that were.
But is that not typically undersell, like Richard says? We're already talking the deal's going to be less.
But you've got to have something to sell. The one thing we have always fallen back on is how good the product is. Tell me why the product is going to be any better in the 2019 season if we've got 29 fixtures, including 7 loop fixtures. What has Rob Elston got to go out and sell? He's going to sell, apparently, all these personalities. We know that there are some fantastic people that could lead this sport, but nobody will still know who they are if the product isn't good enough. It's really hard to go and sell I don't know, a Callum Watkins or a Johnny Lomax if people aren't interested in the sport in the first place. And we haven't got a great product. And it breaks all our hearts to say that, but that's the truth.
It's a fact.
And by changing the structure to one that we've already ditched, you're not going to get any quality in the next 2 years before you've then got to go back into Sky.
You made a point about the Aussies. Now, when you went to Australia, was it as good? It's nowhere near.
Look at the British players who are over there now.
Yeah, but you said to me they realised they needed to change how they played to get as good as us.
Oh yeah, but still.
So what do we need to do to get as good as them then? Well, that's my point.
Well, have less games of greater quality, which is not on the agenda.
Well, we need to stop journeyman game contracts. We need to be giving our talent of 19, 20-year-olds the opportunity instead of binning them off. 18 and 19 and 20, so we need 18 football or under 23s football from there for them to progress. Hey, but listen, there's loads of 18 and 19 year olds in our NRL who are given opportunities, and because of the quality of players, they're given that opportunity and they keep them there. But when I was back over there playing in 85, 86, 87, you know, they wanted the British players because we could improve them.
That's the point.
We could improve them, you know. When you look at the players, there was myself, there was Crooks, there was Tony Myler, there was a Pearl, there was a Fire, there was Lydon, there was Hugh Waddell, there was Kevin Ward, Sean Edwards, Derek Fox, John Henderson, Des Drummond, Andy Curry went out there. So they signed us because they believed that we could make them a better team. You know, I'm the only Englishman out there to finish the top try scorer. And believe it or not, with 13 tries, that's how tough it was to get tries out there. But even the standard back in '85, when I was out there and all the rest of the lads, it was still quality rugby league week in and week out. You still had to play at your best, and else you would have got turned over, whether you were the top or whether you was the bottom. And one thing for sure as well, mate, if you didn't play well in the first grade, there was somebody knocking on the door, you would have been dropped to play in the grade.
I've been over there and played cricket, and that's what it was like even at that level. If you didn't play well, you got dropped. You didn't play well in the team below, you got dropped again. That's how they do it.
Well, I think I told you the story before when I was playing with a bit of an injury, shoulder injury. I think I told you before, and I say I won't go on about the long gist of it, but it was quite simple. You know, after the game, Frank Stanton said to all the players, you know, picked a few out, and I was one of them. And I was playing not very well, and I was kind of a bit of a shoulder problem. And he said to me, "Squire, were you fit today?" So I said, "Yeah, I was, Frank." And he said, "Were you 100% fit?" I said, "Yeah, I was, Frank." So then we all got changed, and again he had 5 minutes, and now the first one he went to. And he just said to me quite harshly, not harshly from his point of view, from my point of view, and he just said to me, "Squire, were you fit today?" So I said, "Yes, Frank." He said, "Were you 100%? I said, "Yeah, Frank." He said, "Right, perform that for me again. Not dropped, you're on the next plane home." There you go.
But right,
there you go.
There's another issue here that I would say that two of the likely candidates for the Man of Steel, Ben Barber and John Bateman, are going to be playing back in the NRL last year. How are we going to sell our stars if our best players are not playing in our competition? And how is what happened this week going to change that before the next television deal is due?
Well, you know what though, Phil, it's not the English players' problem that the NRL want them, is it?
Oh, no, but what I'm saying, it's hard.
Because they want to go there, not just to pick up the wage packet, but also as well to improve themselves week in and week out as players.
The panacea for all of the changes is apparently we are going to have a profile and a product that are going to get us more commercial partners and a television.
Well, how's that going to happen?
How is that going to happen?
I don't know.
Unless we change the product slightly, which I think is less games of greater quality, and we manage to attract star players here rather than our best players go
well, again,
and that's what we've heard nothing about.
This is a big problem. We're attracting journeymen. That's what we've got. We've got journeymen.
Well, all right then. So do we, as a sport, do we need to say, and this involves, I don't know how it affects the work permits and everything, but do we need to target their young kids and say, right, we want the 19-year-old that ain't getting in at the minute, come here, give us 2 years here, become a star here. I'm just trying. We need more star names in our game.
Mark, we've got loads of talent that's getting binged at 19. That's the problem. We've loads of talents getting binged at 19 years of age.
I get what you're saying, right? And I know that we lose players and then players stop playing.
That's a different issue.
I think that is a different. I don't think there's. There's no Ben Barber that's been released by Wigan or Warrington at 17 because he can't get a game. They're not. If they're there, they'll get in, right? If they're there, they'll get in. The problem is there's not enough of them. But I agree with you, there's probably kids that at 17, 18 aren't good enough that at 19, 20 would be good enough that we're losing from the game. I get that.
And aren't the clubs culpable in this? Because if we believe what we read in the papers, Gareth Hock might be playing in Super League next year.
Well,
the kind of signing, if Hull sign him...
Don't believe what you read in the papers.
That's the kind of signing Wakefield used to make.
I think you might find that he could be at Newcastle next year.
Newcastle.
No, that makes sense for them. But we're going to get some social media. Get in touch at Forty20 Live on Twitter. And you can watch us on YouTube. Will you please share and spread the links? Get the links out there. Loads of you downloading the podcast. Really grateful for that. We've done really well in the charts last couple of weeks. Thankful to everyone that's downloaded it. The figures going up. Again, spread it, share it out. Is this week's 4020, Phil?
This month's, yeah.
This month.
We're on the back of it.
Right, I'm going to steal a copy off Phil of this month's 4020. And everyone that retweets it today, the show, shares it, whatever, we'll draw one out at 5 to 8, and you can have this. So then we've got to steal a stamp off Phil.
We'll
post it out. Alright? So there you go.
I'll tell you where
well worth a ring, by the way. Hey, look at that. Hey. We're on the back. Look at them ugly, them good-looking lads on the back.
I tell you what as well, you mentioned charts, mate, don't you? I tell you what, I'm on a roll now. A week before 7 out of 8.
Yeah.
Last week 8 out of 8 with predictions. I'll be 8 out. I tell you what, I'm going to be in the top 5
you
now.
Just might.
I'm going to be in the top 5 now with the predictions.
You might be the winners.
I'm shooting up that table.
Right. Okay. I'm getting stick for not having my uniform on. I appreciate that.
So you should. So
I've been fined.
We have a sponsor who's, did all the great deed, brought it over personally, didn't cost a penny, and look at you, you're our leader, look at you. You're like Steptoe. No, good enough, son. You're like Steptoe.
Which one?
Harold. Well, they're both called Harold anyway. You're Harold and I'm Harold Jr. You're like Steptoe, Mr. Wilson. Give him plenty.
We glossed over this at the start, but we need to mention that the picture will be different every week. But this week,
oh yes,
we have last week Eddie Rombo.
Yeah.
This week was going to be John Gallagher, but instead, because of the breaking news in the Sunday Mirror this week, Kim Jong-un, as we know, is a big fan of the Pyongyang pylons.
People used to laugh when we said that.
No, we were ahead of our time.
Rugby league is huge in North Korea.
He's a big Wigan fan, and we got a picture of him meeting the main man, Sean Wayne, his new head of defence at the.
There's a shirt in his museum.
That is true, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, that'd be a right meeting between him and Wayne, wouldn't it? How aggressive would it be? Talking about defence. Them two in pit. Them two getting in pit. Boy, oh boy.
It's the old Two Tribes video.
That's
what we need our producer now to mock up a picture of that happening. Them two wrestling.
Them two in a pit. Oh boy, oh boy. Who do you think would win?
Who would you back?
Oh, Wayne every day of the week.
Well,
won't Kim Jong-un just have the red button there?
Yeah.
Go on then.
He'd have his wild dogs like if his uncle took wild dogs or something like that.
Hey, that may not happen.
He did already do about that.
Don't panic, they've got rid of the red button. We'll make that the picture for the video or something when we mess around at the end of the programme. Maggie says we should ask the players what they would do to improve their lot. Rugby league.
But what I will say actually that came out the other week when this came up as a subject is actually quite a lot of them are in the union, which I'm quite pleased about. They have
to have a united voice, and that was the trouble with League 13, that not enough players signed up to it. They didn't see the value of it. But if they've got the bulk of who they're trying to get, then it's a representative voice. The only thing I found with talking to players is that actually they play. They don't take a huge interest outside the game other than playing. All they want to do is train and play. If you talk to them about the politics of the sport, it's more they're asking you what's happening rather than you asking them.
Okay.
Gemma Carter, who was not at Headingley on Friday, but is still #robbed, the words of Ian Watson. Can we talk about what happened on the field, specifically at Headingley? No, because people don't like us talking about Leeds, Gemma.
No, we don't. We all don't like Leeds.
So was it a dive?
Salford dropped a ball over the line. They would have won.
Was it a dive?
If they'd have been in Toronto...
Did Leeds cheat?
No more than they normally do. No.
So you admit that Leeds cheat? See, we're getting somewhere now. We're a bit of open and honesty again. They cheated, that's what I got told.
Why did they cheat?
I wasn't there. I hadn't seen it.
In what way did they cheat?
It was a very soft penalty.
Yeah, it might have, but Matt Parcell charging a drop goal down was more important than that. And was it Jake Bibby dropping the ball over the line?
Possibly. I think it's ball halfway through the game.
Yeah. But it's more.
Well, hold on. Toronto dropped the ball over the line, but that try got given.
Well, they didn't have to be
David Laws, 1986. There are.
I tell you what, I know that Jack Bussey as well. If he gets found out,
he's been found out. He's been sent back.
Yeah, Toronto stood him down.
He's been sent to
Manchester. Stood him down for now.
Well, do you know what? Biting is like spitting on a rugby league. For me, in any other sport, spitting there. But biting somebody, sorry, not having it. It's 12 months. Simple as. You can't bite somebody. What is all that about?
Based on Jackson Hastings last week when
no, it's 12 months. It's 12 months.
He got 2, he'll probably get a slap on the wrist.
And as I say, if he's been found guilty, well done to Toronto for doing that, and sack him, and he deserves 12 months. He deserves 12 months. 12 months for that. It's just not acceptable. Not acceptable.
Alright, fair point. Refereeing has been an issue this week. We're not referee bashes here, but there've been a couple of big incidents. What about our man at Oldham asking the referee allegedly how much Bradford were paying? I think that's the official line.
He's come out and said how much are you paid?
Who said this?
And blew him a kiss.
And didn't say anything else.
One of the Oldham players against Bradford apparently.
Yeah,
he got sent off.
He said on Twitter that he said, how much do you get paid? Which I don't think is any of his business, to be honest.
No.
How much does he get paid?
Yeah.
To be in League One?
I think he got sent off for blowing a kiss at the match.
You see,
But dissent,
I
it
played
needs sorting
tennis.
out, this, doesn't it? It needs sorting out. It really does need sorting out. Do they have to come down on it harsh? Does he have to get a long band?
Here's our dissent expert, Gary Scott, to tell us more.
Cool. You know, like when they have they have someone really good on, they'll say Paul Scholes, nine Premier League titles with Manchester United. Gary Schofield, 19 sin binnings, one sending off. 18 for dissent. Well, you got one for dissent, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got sent off once with 19 sin bins.
And with a 19 all for dissent.
18, I got sent off for fighting with Jeff Grayson.
There you go.
Running away from a
Me
fight.
and Jeff Grayson fighting.
Wasn't it like Jacob Miller? Jacob Miller got sent off for getting punched at the weekend. How does that work? I watched it and I've been rude. I had a few pints and I thought, I'm sure he didn't even hit him then. And I got around and looked the next day. He just got whacked and he got sent off.
Bit of retaliation, wasn't there? But anyway, yeah.
Well, it looked like Simon got his retaliation in first.
Yeah, oh, yeah, belled him. Yeah, he belled him, alright. Yeah. But
Oh, well.
move on. But,
Anyway, Tom Johnson, is that him done now for the season, Tom Johnson?
I don't know. Wait till he's out for a couple of weeks. So
What else you done?
Well, he's hurt his knee again.
Again, I've got the.
Not bad.
We've got the
I've
disciplinary.
got the list. I've got the list. Brett Ferris, grade A, dangerous contact, 1 match, penalty notice for his crusher tackle.
Right.
Jacob Miller, no matches for punching grade A.
No matches for being punched.
For missing.
Mikel Simon, 1 game, grade B. So he's obviously a better puncher. Jack Bussey, grade F, refer to tribunal. He's also got a 1 for a high tackle. Tom Lynham, 3 matches for a high tackle, grade C.
So that's him out of the semi-final then?
And that's about it. Will Lovell of London, grade B, shoulder charge, 1 match, penalty notice. Everyone else has got nothing or got a caution. Such
Anybody
as
got
Greg
a caution?
Bird.
Who got a caution?
Greg Bird, dangerous contact. Kyle Wood, running in. Don't run in.
Not when you're small.
Don't run in
Run
when your
out.
mate has been
Run
punched.
out, yeah.
Oh well.
Third man in would be a match penalty in ice hockey. He's got away with it as Kyle Wood there.
Oh well, never mind. Lots of people getting in touch on social media. People not happy about Tom Lynham's ban. I didn't see the incident. I can't remember the incident. Was it high tackle?
He was a high shot. He caused a big brawl, didn't it?
Ah, right.
Caused an all-in brawl, so you can't have it, can you? But yeah, it was a high shot, and they say it all just escalated from there. Bit of a brawl. Yeah.
Craig, what's happy though that Sam Tompkins got sin-pinned for gobbing off at the ref?
Well, I was going to say, Robert Hicks, and I had a bet on Wigan the other night, so I was like really outraged that Rob Hicks had actually had the audacity to send off Sam Tompkins. But I reckon every rugby league fan in England would have gone, finally he's been sin-pinned. Come on, you would have done, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I say it's becoming the norm now, isn't it? You know, so I think what the referee, the head of the referees, Ganson, well, what he does, to be honest, I ain't got a clue if I'm honest with you from there, but he's got to call on me with all the coaches and say, listen, we're not accepting this. We're just, the way that it's going now, the disrespect what's being shown, whether the referee good, bad, and indifferent, whatever we think, they can only referee what they say. We know they've got the officials in the stand and what have you, but now it's just becoming too much. And at the end of the day, you have to have respect for the referees, whether it's right or wrong. And now it's just becoming far, far too often. And everybody's having a go, everybody's cheating, everybody's play acting. The coaches have got to be all brought in, it's all got to be explained. If this carries on, I'm afraid to say there's going to be harsher penalties. And that stops it. Prevention, prevention, if they say this, if you don't stop doing it, then this is what we're going to do. So prevention will cure it, mate. It will. It'll stop it. And I know myself, I was sin bin for dissent to referees and what have you, but now it's just becoming too much, and certainly the play acting as well.
It's almost impossible though, because this absolutely contentious try in Toronto that clearly wasn't, because photographic evidence shows the separation of the hand and the ball. The touch judge is near, but could have been just at quite the wrong angle.
But having goal touches as well, though, don't they?
The Toronto players did not complain. All of this is a furore afterwards. Nobody shouted.
The Toulouse players.
The Toulouse players. Everybody thought at the time it was a legitimate try. We've got to get away from over-analysis, because you can't change it. You've got to go with it.
Why have we not had a video referee there?
Well, they don't have a video referee at most of the games over a weekend, do they? It's because the Canadian broadcast.
We've won in Catalans, though, don't we?
Yeah. but the Canadian broadcaster doesn't have the facility to do that.
I don't think they've got enough cameras in
No,
the
they
same way
haven't.
that.
You get somebody on the ground that's then going to
Surely,
cameras.
is it not? If you've got one camera, you should be able to say, well, we'll just
Well,
have a
the
look
replay.
at the one camera,
Well,
and
the
if it
replay,
sees something, then we'll sort it out. Is it not there for? It's like the VAR football. It's there for the blatant and obvious, isn't it? You know, there's some tries given every week where we'll go, you say it's a try, you say it wasn't a try, and I'm not sure. That's how tight it is. But for something like that, surely, and the one camera angle said it ain't a try.
I never saw it. Was it not a try?
Oh,
Did he drop it?
have a look at the picture. Yeah, it was
Well,
basket, but his hands were about that far off it.
They're light.
Awful. Awful.
Well, how's it been given then?
Well,
Who was the referee? Who was it? Who was the ref?
irrelevant. He hadn't done it on purpose. He's made a mistake, he missed it, whatever.
Martin.
But this could cost Toulouse the £1 million game.
Could do.
Because
Well,
they should have won
cost
the
him
game.
from all. Well, I want to have a look because
Probably not going for a drop goal might cost them more.
No, Phil, that try there, it's cost some points. You know,
the
that's
last
just
2
4 points
weeks,
for the try.
the last 2 weeks of the qualifiers are going to be absolutely brutal. Now, what do we make about this game? London's game has been moved.
Yeah,
Right, through no fault of theirs and no fault of Salford. Salford, I believe, are playing on Thursday the week after.
Following against Toronto.
Hence, they have to play earlier this week, which means they play against London. 5 days' notice. Right, the RFL, I believe, made a statement saying that London had asked for the game to be changed. That is not. I can categorically confirm that is not the case.
No.
They got a phone call this morning and were told the game has been moved. Can you just imagine if you rang up Sean Wayne and Darryl Powell and went, lads, no, Saturday, it's off, we're playing Friday,
Yeah.
we'll see you down there Friday, it's 8 o'clock, yeah, alright, we'll see you
Wednesday,
there."
you were having the day off.
Sean Wayne
You're
would
not
rip
now.
your head off, wouldn't he? He would rip your head
I
off.
wouldn't
Kim
even
on
make a phone call.
He wasn't in. I've rung him, he wasn't in. I didn't want to leave a message.
So when has that game been changed? It's changed from the Sunday to when?
It's a Saturday, which,
At
but
3 o'clock.
they've got a day's less notice. You can't do that. It's 5 days
And we're
before
talking
the
about
season.
promoting and marketing. It's
Yeah.
pathetic.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do it for the fans that have already pre-bought tickets.
Correct, yeah.
We've got London Scholars playing Oldham at exactly the same time on Saturday. Now that game for Oldham is a really important game. They win that and they're in the playoffs. So how do London Scholars now promote that game when London Broncos are playing next door? We just don't think of the ramifications of every single decision we make. And I think our good friend Gemma will tell you, she'd heard word that this game was going to be moved 3 weeks ago. So don't do it 5 days before.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that there will be other games the week after that might have to be moved.
And it's not cheap to rearrange a train ticket to London.
So also,
No.
what would have happened if London says, no, we're not moving it?
I don't
Why
think
did they say
would-
we're not moving
well,
it?
they probably got fined, I would imagine.
By who?
By the RFL.
We don't know the terms of the television contract about how much
No,
notice.
it's not television, is it?
Well, it
'Cause
is because it's a television decision the week later.
It's not. Warrington and Saints on telly Saturday.
Yeah, but the following week, Salford are now playing on the Thursday.
Can I ask a question?
So-
The following week, should all those games,
Yes.
given how
Be at the same
tight
time-
it
at the
is,
same time,
should
yeah.
they not be at the same time? There could be a result where a team will go out and say, lads, as long as we don't lose by 30, we're in.
You're all right.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
there could be actual promotion and missing out on the £1 million game within that same group of
Yeah,
fixtures
I
involving
cannot
the same
believe that.
teams.
And again, if we had any kind of nous about us, would we not be saying to Sky, you want
Yeah,
drama,
absolutely.
we've got drama, you just need a guy at everyone going, oh boy, you know, they've let a try and they're going down as it stands.
Well, it's like on Thursday,
keep
right?
those-
It's like on Thursday night. We're going to play in Huddersfield, right?
Yeah.
So they cast no definitely on, before their game against Wakefield. If Wigan win, they can't catch them. So does Darryl Powell let somebody play for the Wakefield game? Then get ready the week after where
St Helens.
Cast play Saints, all the rest of them, then get ready for it. They know exactly where they stand. Is that right? They all should be at the same time, shouldn't they?
Well, I can almost sit with that because Wigan, you could almost argue, have earned the right to secure their place in the team. It's like had Salford won all their games, they would be virtually safe now. But that is good, and that is, you know, you mentioned points difference. The Broncos are out of the £1 million game courtesy of a goal kick.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, Andrew and Pete have told us that London versus Halifax, which I'm guessing is the week after, has also been moved from the Sunday to the Saturday.
I can't imagine that one being on television though. But it might be.
Show
Who
says
knows?
the cost for Salford's hotel in Ealing has doubled in cost. Bus it there and bus it back. Get
Yeah.
a man to pay for it.
Possibly.
Not
So that, you know, we talk about the sport and you think,
Well,
no, no,
let's-
just help yourself.
Let's go back to this extra game that nobody knew about till Friday afternoon, which is likely to be Rochdale playing off against the third best team in League One for the final promotion place. The venue for that is going to be decided by the toss of a coin.
Yeah.
Are they doing it over the phone?
Call
bear with me a
yourself,
second.
call yourself a professional sport.
I need to do something technical. I'm just going to leave for one moment. I'll be back in a minute.
Well,
You're going to put your shirt on.
No. I've lost my shirt. No, I haven't lost my shirt. I've sold it on eBay. I've signed it by Scully and sold it.
It's worth nothing if you sign it by skill.
the exciting news, of course, is because of that fixture, all the players. Have we gone off? We're still on.
No.
All the players have. Oh, your phone needs charging.
I don't know.
You're gonna walk in front of it now. All the players are on holiday. They've all booked holidays from Cumbria airports. The day of the match, the last match, they've all got flights booked. 7
Who's this?
o'clock. Workington. They're all on holiday. So if they got to the final, they won't have any players. Well, the good news, Leon, been shopping, got a shirt. Look at this, Workington Town. So I'm ready to play, Leon. If you need me, got a number up back and everything. Write my name on it. So I'm ready, Leon. I'm ready to play for you. If you need me in your relegation mega promotion player for Rochdale, it's easier to get to Rochdale. So that's good. Won't please any Whitehaven fans, but never mind.
The other thing about that Rochdale game is that it will now be played after the grand final. So surely the big full stop on the season,
The traditional end of season battle.
70,000 people at Old Trafford,
Blaze
of glory. Now on Sunday we're going to have possibly Rochdale against Workington with the great
second
respect to
worst team in the
Doncaster
Championship.
and Whitehaven and Oldham and all the other teams that might. And that's going to be played. If Rochdale are at home, has to be on the Sunday because Rochdale Football Club are at home on the Saturday.
Well, the good news is on the Saturday, and Manchester Rangers have reminded me of this because they tweet me and then I forget to say stuff. This last week they set up the Schools League, which is great news for the people in Manchester. But the other great news is on that weekend, on the Saturday, 11 o'clock, Women's Championship Grand Final.
11 o'clock.
1 o'clock, I think. Women's Super League Grand Final. Probably Leeds in it because they won again at the weekend against Cass. Sounded like a good game, Sharon couldn't watch it. It's going to be a big day of Rugby League. It's going to be a long day of Rugby League.
Do you think to give the women's game the kudos it deserves, bearing in mind that we've all seen quite a lot of women's rugby league this year, I think we've all been knocked out with the standard that we've seen. Should that be on the same day as the men's grand final? Is that not, unless you have it in the same stadium as a curtain raiser, are you not demeaning it a little bit by having it at a different venue on the same day?
Why does it have to be the same day?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Surely now, Friday night under lights, the women's grand final.
Yeah, why not?
With the men's grand final Saturday night.
Why not?
And treat them with the respect that they deserve, but give them their own stage.
I mean, I'm assuming it'll be broadcast on the Our League app and stuff, but we won't be involved anymore.
Wow.
Have
you upset people?
Well, I don't know, after our long discussions. I said I was going to put a bid in for the rights to the Championship and League One, which as we know are worth about 20 pence. So if the Championship and League One advisory group want to accept that. But as Toby pointed out on Facebook earlier, and I think as we saw yesterday with the Oldham Bradford game, if you are going to do anything at these grounds, you need to provide equipment for people to do with, like, I don't know, electricity. You know, so all these clubs who want to do this, that and the other, but if you can't provide the basic facilities to people, you can't do anything. Anyway, we're boring, says Mark. Get Schofield ranting. I want to ask Schofield a question. He's over there.
Schofield.
All right, I've got 2 names before Schofield. Gary, do I call me Schofield? If you get him at school, go on.
Si says you look bored. You were a player. You played in some good teams. You played in some not so good teams. Chris Houston, whose legacy in this country will be bashing Phil Bentham, and here is Phil Bentham.
Yeah, injured. Look at that.
having a go at the Widnes fans, and fans by their nature, not always rational, but I would say if my team was, to quote a word used earlier, Scully, crap as Widnes have been this season, and still haven't beaten the Super League team since when? Because they beat Halifax at the weekend.
Yeah.
And then Chris Housen got very upset that fans may not have appreciated the fact that Widnes had an end of season jolly up, which I understand why they had it. It's not really his place as the captain of a club who are crap to have a go at the supporters who have been there through thin and exceedingly thinner this season.
Correct. No. They say the spectators themselves, as we know, they pay the money, they'll support you through thick and thin, and it's like anything else. For 80 minutes, they're entitled to their opinion, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And no, you should not be criticising your supporters. They are entitled to what they say, whether you like it or not. You know, because I know exactly what some of the stick I've got, and even now, even from the Hull fans, and they'll tell you, even now, it's 30 years on. It's not just a bit of banter; it gets personal as well. And from that point of view, when we mind
keep it up, all fans.
with the personal thing, but
in fact, just
that's that at times. I guess if I said something to them back like what they say to me, well, they would like it from there. But what I'm saying is, from a sporting point of view, they are entitled to their opinion, and unfortunately, I'm afraid to say, you've got to take the good. You've got to take the good with the bad, and if not, keep your trap shut.
Is James Rule? Because is his position becoming untenable? We saw banners at the ground at the weekend. They want their club back. I think he's got to go, hasn't he? Is he now part of the problem, or seen to be part of the problem, whether he is or isn't?
I think we all think Widnes will still get relegated. Mathematically, they gave themselves a chance against Halifax. At the moment, they are not out of it.
No.
So I think.
Who have they got this week?
They're in Toronto.
Away at Toronto.
And then they've got Hull KR. So the likelihood is... Well, I mean, Toronto need to beat a Super League team if they're going to be where they want to be.
Yeah, but Widnes are a Super League team, aren't they?
Well, they are at the moment.
Well, on paper they are.
And they might take huge confidence from that win over Halifax. But
Phil, stop sticking up for you, mate. Francis Cummins.
All I'm saying is the James Rule question probably can't be answered until relegation is a certainty, and then it is going to be very difficult. But are Widnes going to get a parachute payment?
Well, I thought that was just a one-off for looking after the league.
Went well, money well spent. Might as well have given us $500,000.
Well, that's never been a Super League agreement, has it? People get parachute payments. It's the first time it's been heard, isn't it?
No, and it's on the agenda at the Super League meeting today.
Speaking of Francis Cummins, who after the game very upset that apparently the vultures are circling around Widnes. That should be the
Just a word, Franny. I can assure you all them player agents are circling around the other clubs as well.
It's the agents, isn't it? It's not, it's not the... Come on now, everyone.
You ask any club, what's your plans for recruitment? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to wait to see who gets relegated. Then we're going to nick all their best players, and then we'll go from there.
The anti-tapping up rules and such, which of course, as we all know, only one team's ever been done for in Super League.
Who was that, Rick?
It's Wakefield trying to sign Jason Robinson.
With a rubber check.
With a rubber check, yeah. One of many. As one with John Olomu and the Johns brothers, as we point out at this point.
We should get Andy Kelly.
What a team that would have been.
We should get Andy Kelly on to talk us through those moments in history. Because he was told he had to go deal with the negotiations, and he's thinking, this is not good.
Steve Van Aeren and Paul Sampson still brought the salary cap.
Well, that was the same with Dave Ward. The league's boss said to Ward, you go to New Zealand. Well, what we're going to New Zealand for? You go to New Zealand to sign a fullback, am I? Who we're going to sign? You're going to sign New Zealand fullback. He didn't have a clue who we're signing, and they came back with guess who?
Eddie Rombo.
That load of crap. John Gallagher, that's what he came back with.
Next week's guest, John Gallagher.
Anyone not being tapped up ever.
And it works the other way as well. Some clubs are looking to offload players, so...
I think Lee's going to start tapping somebody up, Phil, don't you? They were because the squad what we've got for next year.
When they are mathematically safe, which could well be...
Oh, this week will be Halifax. Well, yeah, so we're safe after this week.
They will announce a sign.
Yeah, well, they've signed that second row from Queensland, haven't they? Cowboys announced that. Who else?
They haven't announced that yet.
They have, it's in League Express.
That doesn't mean it's been announced.
It's been announced, Gary.
It's not been announced yet.
Well, the way I read it, he's a Leeds player for next year.
Do you believe everything you read, Gary?
He doesn't even believe what he writes. Never.
It's a bit harsh. Of course I do.
No, we don't
It's a
believe
bit
it.
true.
Of course I do.
We don't believe what he writes.
Rob's asked us if we know how and when they will tell us how these loop fixtures work. Come on, Rob.
What they announced
Reality.
after their meeting?
As soon as the fixtures are out, you'll know who the loop fixtures
But
are.
I'm led to believe there will be some commercially
Yes.
beneficial
Well, so
loop
which
fixtures.
means-
Which means that there'll be local derbies. They're not
Yeah.
going to do it on the basis of league position.
Which then makes it a farce.
Well,
What do they do? Magic weekend, you have to have Wigan Saints, Hull KR, Leeds Castleford. How are you going to have them in the loop fixtures as well? How are they going to be commercially attractive? How do you know what's commercially attractive
What are they going to do, take them on the
before
road?
the season
They're
kicks
going to take
off?
him on the road then, something.
No.
Well, that that is something I would suggest they should do.
Yeah, I would. If
I've
you're
said that before.
commercially benefiting, take them on the road.
Wakefield Huddersfield coming to Pyongyang.
I say at the end of the day, it's all about money. That's all it is. Couldn't care less about the game. It's all about the money. That's what it is.
Carl, and yes, Gareth, the mic is a prop. It was working and then it's not working.
It was. I'm a bit worried my lead's not working, so we might have a problem. with it, but-
Carl has asked, before we get on to St Helens celebrations, Carl has asked, why the loop games? Why not 23 games, playoffs, Challenge Cup, plus international games, Yorkshire versus Lancashire? Thoughts?
Because chairmen want 14 home games. They believe economically they have to have that number of fixtures. The issue...
Where does that figure come
I don't
from?
know. And the issue
Where
with
does
the
that
eights-
figure come from when Salford get 2,000 and Leeds next year probably going to get knocking on 20,000 for a home game? Where does that? I would say, right, Leeds would get more money in corporate hospitality than Salford are getting gate receipts easily every week. So where's this 14 game myth come from?
And I tell you what, I know when you look at Huddersfield, a loss of 1.5 million this year.
Where
They've
is
had
it?
40
Well,
home games.
I think
They could have 40 and still lose money.
our good friend Michael Carter at Wakefield has said 14 games is what he needs to be
Yeah,
economically
but that
viable.
might be for him. Surely that don't mean everyone else.
Well, they want 14 home games. If you want 14 home games, you've only got 12 teams in the league. See, what I'd like to have seen as well as...
And you know why they won't want 14 in? Because that'll mean they'll have to
Because it-
slim
yes.
down the pipe.
But surely if you want to get to a competition that Rob Elston can sell to commercial partners and other broadcasters to make it a competitive environment, we need to get to maybe 14 or 16 teams. Now, to do that, how are we going to get the players? How are we going to get the areas that we want to spread the game to? All of that is part of a strategy that wasn't part of this document saying we want more money. How do the two marry together? We need to have home and away fixtures and maybe a magic weekend. Now, if you want to get up to 14, you need more teams in the league. You're going to have to take less money. Can't have everything all the time.
As I've said before, is the problem not the owners? And they're the ones trying to resolve the problem, but they are the problem. You know, Ian Lenigan,
Which is why
Ian
we
Lenigan's club is losing money, right? They don't own their own ground.
Absolutely.
Right? They don't get any corporate hospitality from the ground. So they're losing money there. But he's got two marquee players, and he's moaning his team's
And
losing
he's-
money. We'll
he's
go have the
taken-
marquee players and get your own ground.
And he's taken matches to London, which was a success but never went back. He's taken a game to Australia, which was a success but we're not going back apparently. And again, what is the strategy for making Super League a better product? How do we have just a home and away fixture list that we can all buy into, where games are an event? They talk about events. We want to be, you know, every game to be an event. Well, if two teams are only playing each other home and away, that game becomes an event. If Wigan played Warrington, was it for the 5th time this week? Nobody cared.
And they could meet again in the
Nobody
final.
cared.
They could meet again in
They
the
couldn't.
final.
As Dave said, Hull and Hull KR will play 4 times this season, home, away, Magic and what? Or next season, and the loop fixture.
And a friendly fixture.
And the friendly now the pre-season friendly does my head in because it's obviously there for money, and people say, oh, it's for the Clive Sullivan Trophy. Well, do what Hull and Saints do during the season and play for the Steve Prescott Trophy during the season. Just because you're pretending the trophy means something by sticking on the fixture. Elsewhere, Gareth asked us, what's the difference between Ralph Rimmer and Robert Elston?
Well, they've got the same job title of different organisations, but there the similarity ends, I think.
that's as far as we've gone. People were very excited to see Brian Barwick at the thing on Friday. So
was he putting his chit in?
You know, we used to joke about what does Nigel Wood do. I think we genuinely can ask the question: what the hell does Brian Barwick do?
He's got a book.
What does he do?
A black book.
Nothing.
He's got a book.
Yeah. What does he do?
He's got a nice pay packet, I can reassure you.
He
He's doing
hands out-
nothing.
hands out the
Anyway,
medals.
that's not his fault. He's been given that position, he's been given a nice pay packet. You'd accept it yourself, wouldn't you?
But surely as a sport that's looking to save money, that'd be... I'll tell you what, Brian, thanks for coming.
There's your first saving.
Get yourself
Yeah,
up.
well, he's still got his black book. He's still got his black book. It's not open yet, but he's got his black book.
He was the head of sport at ITV and the BBC, and still the Super League shows on at 11:30. If you're pointing your aerial the right way.
Yeah. And is that again, and again, it's not an anti-Beeb thing. They've got it, and I look at it, and we should be saying to them, you can have it, but that show's going on at 7:30 on BBC Two on a Monday night. If you're not going to do that, you're not having it. It's as simple as that.
People have asked.
It's a regional programme, though. It's a regional.
It shouldn't be that.
Yeah, but this is again, Phil, the sports problem.
But maybe Rob Elston in a meeting like that will have more gravitas. He knows, he's worked for Sky, he knows how television sport works, and this again goes back to what's the difference between Ralph Rimmer and Robert Elston. Can the sport afford and need two chief executives? If Rob Elston is bringing all of the qualities that the Super League chairman employed him for in the first place, if he's got an accountancy background in sport, if he's got a work for Sky, if he's worked for a football club, if he understands the politics of the sport because he's grown up with it, surely we put the sport in his hands.
Well, I've said
we need to have an international window. That's not been mentioned, and it looks as though now England aren't going to have a mid-season test. We've got 29 fixtures. There's a possibility at the moment that the 4 clubs in Super League that are playing in the qualifiers, who enter the Challenge Cup around early, may have to play that game as a midweek fixture. Is that what we want?
Yeah,
we're going backwards.
It's laughable.
But unless you have everything under one roof, where you can plan the rules that you want to play under, the teams that you want in the division, what is the prospect for expanding the sport? If you want more television revenue, do you have to go and look at Toulouse and bring them in and get a French TV deal? How does that affect Toulouse getting in there on the field or off the field? Eric Perez, big interview with him in League Weekly today, our friend John Davidson did it, he's saying, there is an absolute fact that more American teams will be coming in. He's going around even looking at potential League One licences that he can buy and relocate teams to America, but it's going to happen, and it's going to happen because there'll be a television deal behind it. Who's brokering that? Is it because the gateway now rests with the RFL into Super League? Do they decide, or does Super League say we want you in our competition because it enhances?
I think, and I've said this to Rugby League chairman that I've spoken to. What they've done is they've wanted rid of Nigel Wood because Nigel wasn't doing his job properly.
Because he was going.
But instead of replacing Nigel Wood all in and getting someone in that they all believe can do the job, they've gone, well, we'll get our own man in because we don't trust him, we can't trust him to do it all, so we'll get our own man in. And then basically they're wasting their own money by paying him, not wasting it because he's worth it, but as you just said, well, they're paying money for him. So why are they both doing, and surely if you trust this guy, and like you said, his background said as a sport, we should say, right Rob,
just what we need.
12 months, we want you to come back in 12 months and we want you to say, right, this is what we're going to be doing in 3 years. We want you to tell us what you're going to say to Sky. This is a sport. This is what it looks like. This is how many teams are going to be in it, and this is where we're going. And we haven't done that. And interesting, Robert Elson said, actually, when it got on, now I can start my job.
Yeah.
So he's been there 4 months, and he hasn't been able to do anything because Ian Lenigan, by saying, oh, we're changing the structure, it's all going to change.
Hijacked his announcement.
Yeah, and they've shot themselves in the foot. And it goes, you made a point earlier about Ian Lenigan. He can't, I'll say it now, I'll say it to his face, he can't run his own club properly. His players are all getting sold. They're all leaving. His best players are leaving, and his coach is leaving.
There are two other issues here. One is we've seen a breakaway of administration before. Super League had self-determination not long after the competition was brought in. They had offices in the centre of Leeds. They had their own marketing division. It didn't work. They had to come back under the governing body. It was just a cost that they didn't need and the sport didn't need. So again, not only are we going back to loot fixtures, but we're going back to an administration that didn't work. I think the other thing is they've looked at Rob Elston and they're trying to replicate what happened in football with Scudamore at the Premiership and saying, oh, just because he did a great job and he was allowed to take the Premiership to new heights, the Championship came along with it and everybody benefited. We are not football.
Fair enough. Rich, what's happening?
Mr. Rainmaker, and I can't remember if we touched on this last week, wanted us to talk about Macaulay Davis's retirement from Wigan, because it happened in the afternoon and then I can't remember what happened during the show that we didn't talk about it. And I guess obviously it's very sad he's had to retire, but I guess the positive is he's not going to cause any further damage to him by playing rugby league, which is a sad thing for him, but we wish him well for the future and hopefully the sport can look after him. Rommel Saint says, ask the legend what he thinks of Lachlan Coote and possible move to Saints.
He's a fullback, isn't he? Well, they brought that kid from West, haven't they?
I thought he was playing at centre.
The Gams, is he going to play in the centres? Yeah, Lachlan Coote's okay.
But Ryan Morgan's here for next year, so it would make sense if Nagama went to fullback, I would have thought.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
He's played a lot of fullback.
But having said that, I find Lomax is a better fullback than he's a halfback.
Do you think?
I think he's more comfortable than in his Lomax. I don't understand why they want a fullback. I don't.
No, I'd agree with that. Let's talk about Saints, just to prove we're not Yorkshire centric. I don't think we've mentioned anyone from Yorkshire apart from Leeds cheating.
It's all fun with Rob, yeah.
Hey, by the way, I saw Brian McDermott today in town. Yeah.
How's he looking?
Looks well. Looks like he's been on holiday, been in the gym, looked ripped.
Got his black hair back?
Yeah, he looked better. Yeah, he did all around. Yeah, he actually stopped me in the street. I was walking home texting him. He came up and he like whacked me, and I'm like, whoa. Oh, hiya, Brian. You're right. All right, Brian.
Yeah, right. that sounds more like it. Are you alright, mate? Are you alright?
No, he's looking well. He's looking well, so that was nice.
Where's he going, Phil? Where's his next job? You'll know that, won't you? Where's he going?
I think that might depend if a team that plays the other side of the Atlantic get promoted.
So he's going to Toronto then.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Not saying that the people that aren't there at the moment will still be there, but he might join that. So.
Anyway, the last... We saw Castleford last year, but they're all a little bit of history. They partied, everyone took the mickey out of them. Oh, you haven't won out, you've won a League Leaders Shield, it doesn't mean out. Then we saw Saints the other day. Looked like they'd won last prize in the tombola, and it's like, for God's, what am I going to do with this? What did you make of that?
Well, exactly what they think about it. They don't respect it, do they? And every time somebody got an interview, well, yeah, it's a League Leaders Shield, yeah, it's consistent with 30, but it's not what we won. It's a grand final. Every single one of them said it, even the coach. Yeah, all right, yeah, reward you for 30 games on a consistent basis, but you know, there's no value in it, unfortunately.
But is there no value in it? Because we invest no value in it. Sky didn't even cover the game, and the presentation. Which did you know there was going to be a presentation at that game?
Well, I guess there would be.
Well, they could have waited until the following game, couldn't they? But nobody really knew, including I think a lot of the Saints fans who clearly had left before the presentation was made, that it was going to be. How can you have a prestigious occasion if nobody knows it's going ahead? Make it something really important.
But it's not Phil.
How can the cameras not?
But Phil, unfortunately, it's not. You're not going to change.
But
all right, Cast last year, we knew because it's the first time they finished the top of the league in their history. Was 81, 82 years. So that's what they based it on.
It meant a lot to Huddersfield.
It did.
It did in 2013. It absolutely did.
Did it?
It did.
Yeah,
it meant a lot to Castleford because both of those clubs were doing things that, well, in Castleford's case,
hold on a second.
And it meant a lot to Leeds.
Why did you come on here last week saying, "Oh, well done, Hunslet Parkside"? Because they've won the League Leaders Shield, they haven't won the Grand Final.
No, what I said about Hunslet Parkside, they've gone 20, 22, 24 unbeaten.
If they lose the final, it doesn't matter.
No, but that's creating the record, though, isn't it?
If they lose the final,
no, that's creating the record of 24 unbeaten games.
I'm talking of records.
That's a different philosophy. Don't worry about Hunslet Parkside and winning. Don't worry.
Congratulations.
If you're tipping them, whatever they're playing. We're on.
Ulster Parkside beat Westhill.
Congratulations to Doncaster, who set a club record,
Yes.
9 games,
They did.
9 winning games as well.
And
Well done,
are in the
Carol.
playoffs.
Yes, in pole position now.
But also as well,
to
yes,
be playing Rochdale on a Sunday. with
St
Tottenham
Helens,
Court.
yeah, well done St Helens. But also as well, you Black and White fans got hammered again by 26 points. You rubbish.
Well, we've got to talk about St Helens. Worthy winners, I think we can agree on that.
100%.
What do we think of their chances? Did you do that, Paul?
Yeah. I've got the results.
Have we got any?
The results are in, and the winners by 47% are Wigan,
Yeah.
35% Castleford, 12% Saints, 6% Warrington.
Will Perrin was in.
Well, he gets proper jobs, I don't. 12% St Helens, 6% Warrington, because it's always their game.
I think Warrington will turn Saints over in the semi-final. I don't know. That prediction is St Helens great channel. They've won the cap and that's it. I think Warrington will turn them over in the semi-final.
Where's that bell? I don't want to ring it. I want to smack him over the head with it. You're not supposed to do that.
It's all.
Somebody will have fallen off a
Yeah,
line.
you've just damaged
Oh,
someone.
we are into the second half of the programme for our podcast, people.
Well,
it depends if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube we've been on for 6 hours.
The good news is next week, by the way,
So the Warrington fans will be delighted I'm picking them to get to the grand final with Wigan.
next week Subbuteo League Leader Shield will be arriving.
Oh,
Really?
fantastic.
Yeah, it's a satellite dish, but it looks a bit like the League Leader Shield. What are they going to do now that they scrap the Championship Shield and stuff? What are they going to do with that big box of trophies at Red Hole?
I don't know.
The Championship Shield, everybody,
For
it's still
every
coming.
loot fixture you win, you get a shield.
You get a shield. And they still need to find a better trophy for the
Who
winners.
do you think wins the grand final, Phil?
At this point in time, I am more interested in the semi-final because the game I cannot pick is Wigan against Castleford. I think those are the. I've been saying for a while that I think when Luke Gale gets back to his full fitness, which hopefully he will, and he's not far off, that Castleford are the dark horses. But there's just something about this Wigan team at the moment with everything that is involved with the coaching staff and the players who are leaving. There's something about them that you watch them play and you just think they're not going to be beaten, and particularly at home. So I just don't know. I think Saints will win their semi-final. I think they've been good enough all year. The grand final is their aim, and I think they will get there. But for me, I'd watch it tomorrow if we could get it on. Wigan and Cass I can't call that at the moment.
Right, Rich?
Wigan. I'll do me one-word answers. All the stars are aligning, aren't they? John Bateman's going, Sean Wayne's going, Sam Tompkins is going, Dom Manfredi's back.
Hey, listen, I don't think they play well just because they're all leaving. No, I just think now that the business of the season, Wayne's getting the best out of the players. It's not because they're all leaving. And do you know what as well? Do you know what I reckon? I reckon they're going to win it when they pick that trophy up. The Kit Kats are going to be out for Ian Lenigan. The Kit Kats are going, you know what I mean? Not just with the two, but with the four fingers from everybody to Ian Lenigan, because he has totally. He has totally. Well, you know what I'm saying. I can't. The Kit Kats are going to be up to Ian Lenigan from the players who are leaving, and certainly from Sean Wayne.
Reverse Winston
and I'm just hoping Sean. Rips him.
I reckon he will.
I reckon he will, Phil. I reckon Sean will rip him.
He had told himself back last time with the press. This time he will too.
Because I reckon, Phil, do you know the reason why? Because the disrespect they showed Sean Wayne when there was Lenigan, Radlinski, Sean Edwards, and Adrian Lamb, the head coach of Wigan at this moment.
The day before a game.
Yeah, the head coach of Wigan at the club wasn't even part of that. Absolutely, totally disrespectful. And hopefully Sean Wayne will give him the 4 Kit Kats and say thanks, but no thanks, Mr. Lenigan. They'll regret letting him go, I'm telling you.
Sean Edwards is on the desk, but you can only see it on YouTube, you can't see it on Facebook. I've framed the shot badly. But he's on the desk today.
Yeah.
Maggie did ask people to post for 5 minutes on Facebook about only positive things.
Go on then, Maggie, tell us something positive.
Quiet now.
Seriously, no, it's a good point. Go on then.
Well, we've mentioned Doncaster.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
record run of form. I'm looking forward to the semi-final. I genuinely am. I'm like you. I mean, there's 2 weeks of
2 weeks of rubbish.
Yeah,
isn't it?
But we want the
Weeks of
semi-finals
rubbish.
and we want them now.
Because what we're all doing, people have got the Sky, we're watching NRL, but we're just watching so much crap. It's rubbish, isn't it? We just can't wait now for the semi-finals. I wish we all could just say, all right, we're not playing any more rugby now for the next 2 weeks. Because it's rubbish. Wait for the semis.
I think if York were to beat Whitehaven on, or even get a point from Whitehaven on Sunday, I think that would be a tremendous achievement.
Is York at Whitehaven, really?
At home.
No, they're at home.
Oh, yeah, well, York will be
And Whitehaven, in fairness, have only just scraped past Coventry.
Winning up until the last few.
But also as well, big Cal Foster, the player coach, a hat-trick for the club from there. It's his last performance at home, so well done, Cal.
And they'll have every incentive, I get that. But if York were to get automatic promotion, I think that would be something we would...
They get an automatic promotion.
We would acknowledge is a fantastic achievement.
Absolutely, of course it is. Great achievement.
Maggie has said, I already said something positive about Martin Ridyard. Scroll up. I'm watching on a phone, Maggie. Look, I can only see 5.
Yeah.
He's back. He played this week for Featherstone.
They've got a player back. That's good, isn't it? Because they released him.
So presumably he'll be playing in the Shield against Lee.
Yeah. Yeah, looks that way.
I'll be in cash converters in either Fev or Lee after the game. The Shield in the front winner. Scrap ball's about £2.
Richie's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh.
Is it?
Probably true. But, yeah.
I mean, Bradford, former winners of the Shield, the old Bradford, the former winners. Where is it? Where's the Shield?
I don't know.
It's on display.
We was at that game. We was at that game. We saw that presentation.
No, you and Doc were there.
Oh, we were
I was in the studio.
Oh, right, yeah. I think there were about 12 million. His dog watching presentation were pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
Oh, that was the one where halfway through the commentary you just gave up, didn't you?
That was the school sports day. Everyone gets a medal race, wasn't it? It was, wasn't it?
Here's something
it's
you
like with
don't want.
even though you've won, but you participated.
You know, look how disappointed St Helens were with getting their trophy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Mind you, whoever wins will be able to keep it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's like the
The Captain Morgan Trophy.
Yeah, the Captain
So
Morgan
what?
Trophy.
Yeah.
Send them an email. We'll buy it for £3. We'll put it on the table.
Put a bid in.
Do we think that the teams that have got 8 points in the qualifiers are safe? Is 8 going to be enough? I think the points difference they've got. I mean, Hull Kingston Rovers probably need another win.
Who have they got this week, Hulk? Yeah.
Well, then we'll go through the fixtures now. Toronto play Widnes on Saturday. Toulouse play Hull KR.
I think that's a really interesting game for Toronto. Because they
haven't been
they
great,
need to
have
beat
they?
a Super League team.
Toronto beat Widnes on Saturday. Without a doubt. No two ways about it. Listen to the legend.
We got told off last week for not doing our predictions on the show, by the way.
Oh, we had 2 other pieces of
I know.
Yeah, everyone loves to predict it, so we should keep doing it, don't worry about that. But yeah, Toronto will beat Widnes, don't worry about that.
Okay, we'll do that in a bit. The other fixtures are Halifax Leeds, London Salford.
Toulouse Hull KR. Now, Toulouse Hull KR is a really interesting fixture, right? Because Toulouse are virtually in, I think, last chance saloon if they're going to make the £1 million game. Because I think London are...
I fancy Toulouse, to be honest.
Do you? And that then draws Hull KR back into it.
I thought London were going to come back, but once again they gave away a big start, didn't they? Against Hull KR at the weekend. What were they, 20 points to 6 down at half time? Got it back, was it 2018 it was? 22-18 or something?
2018.
And they just couldn't see it out, could they?
Is Toronto Widnes on the telly then this week?
It will be,
believe
yes,
so,
because Toronto are at home.
Yeah. So we'll do our predictions later. Let us know who you think's going to miss out. Someone actually did a league table of how it could end up, and like Hull KR and Leeds could still technically get relegated, or one of them could get relegated. That is madness.
Leeds at this moment in time are at the Olympic pass practicing the diving.
If only there was
a minute from full time.
The ball was knocked out, wouldn't it?
The great news, of course, coming out of Friday was next year the Bash is still on. And now it's going to be 14 teams in the Championship, so that's going to be even more games. So I can't wait to go. We're broken again.
I think we might be. Yeah. You carry on.
So the Bash is still on, so that means another weekend away in Blackpool. So looking forward to that. If it's still in Blackpool, of course. We don't know where the Magic Weekend is yet, do we?
Is that back? Is it still?
It won't be in Newcastle though.
It's not in Newcastle.
Well, they've got the Rugby Union finals, haven't they? So I don't think they can.
Oh, on the same weekend, is it?
Yeah. Well,
right, okay. So
Rich,
where are we
going
going,
to put
Phil?
that on Facebook. Yours.
Oh, right.
Where are we going, Phil? Do we know? The Magic Weekend? We don't know yet.
So YouTube viewers, But now leaving you now.
Yeah.
And,
We've broken. We've got a dodgy wire. We've got a dodgy wire.
keep talking.
We'll keep talking.
Keep talking. Because it'll be on the video.
So we're going from YouTube back to
Facebook. Yeah, apologies to the Facebook millions. It's not been a good day. I've got a faulty wire. I don't know what it is. I tried to plug it in, but I can't sit there watching, can I, while I'm on air?
No.
Can we kill the producer?
If only we had a fictional producer.
Yeah. Only if we had. It's going to be just in time for your predictions, Legend.
I'm just looking over there. There's a deer park. Why don't we do it in deer park?
No,
I don't think it's the venue. I think it's the.
No, not about the venue. Well, you know, why don't we do it in the deer park?
I didn't even realise that was a pub.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
just
not
noticed it. I thought deer park was further down.
There's only a rugby league programme done in a
crowds
pub.
of people out there when we finish.
It'd be like going in the what is it, Chicken Cottage or something like one in Newcastle.
No, it's a gastro pub.
They'll all be out there, won't they? But yeah.
Right, let's see if it works. Oh, it should be back on now. Apparently. This is live.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, we're back.
there you go.
We're back. Apologies for that.
I'll come back, you keep talking.
Yeah, we'll keep talking. People are tuning in again. Just need to refresh. So if you do that, that'd be great. Apologies for that. We have got a duff wire. And we are back. You've not missed anything. We stopped talking. We're quite kind like that. We will endeavour to buy a new plug for next week. That is my fault. But wires don't work. It's as simple as that. It's a bit like Gary.
I tell you what, I'm looking at that photograph. It's an absolute shocker, isn't it?
What?
Well, what you're on it, that's a shocker.
Isn't it?
What else is up with it? Yeah.
We all look like steptoes, don't we? We could have been
What do you mean
smart.
like that?
Speak for
We
yourself.
could have been smart.
I think we're quite
I
smart.
thought we could have been smart. No, we could have been smart, couldn't we?
You wear that shirt every time I see you.
Look at Shaw Rice, it's like a pizza.
Well, I know.
This is going to be the
Shaw
greatest
Rice t-shirt.
podcast ever.
Oh, we're back on. We're back on. John says he's still looking at pictures. He is. Remember, everyone that retweets, shares, whatever the video will put you into a hat. We'll draw your picture out. We'll draw it out for a chance to win Forty20 magazine. Apologies for that. We have got less money than the RFL. That is a fact that has been pointed out by Richard.
Spend it all on dodgy equipment, that's the problem.
Yes.
Oh, here we are.
Matthew said hello. Hello, Matthew. Hello, everybody. So we were talking about the qualifiers then. Serious question, who do we think is going to miss out?
Well, Witness and Halifax are missing out.
Yeah.
But then you've got Toronto, you've got
two
London.
more.
But you've got Toronto, Toulouse and London, haven't you, for the MPG game? I think the other three are safe, to be honest with you. Salford, Leeds and Hull KR.
Well, even if Hull KR losing Toulouse.
Yeah, I think they're safe, Phil. Yeah.
Because the only thing that goes against them at the moment is their points difference.
They've got Witness last game on the Hull KR. Yeah, well, they'll beat Witness, so I don't have an issue with that. Leeds will qualify this week, they'll beat Halifax. Salford go to London, I think Salford will just do London, so they'll be safe. So, yeah, it's Toulouse, London and Toronto for the MPG game, and I can't call it, to be honest. You know, that's how tight it's going to be. But forget about Witness and Halifax, they're getting nowhere near the £1 million game.
Well, yes.
What about you, Phil?
I don't think Halifax can anyway, mathematically, but it is a difficult one. I don't know how good Toulouse are. Every time I watch them, I think they've got such great potential, and I love the way they play. They're unstructured. It looked as though they had a really good opportunity to turn Toronto over this week, and even allowing for all of the things that went against them, the fact that at the very last they couldn't find a way to even drop a goal. How they cope from coming back from Canada and playing a Super League team, I think, will tell us if Toulouse have enough to make the £1 million game. London's Achilles heel is their start. Thought they'd rectified that last week, but it's clearly still an issue for them. Toronto aren't playing well, but they're in pole position to perhaps host the £1 million game, and that will raise its own logistics. How do you arrange a game in Toronto with only 6 days' notice? So yeah, I'm not sure. I genuinely don't know.
I'll tell you what, the one thing for Toronto, which could be a bonus, is if Leeds qualify this week against Halifax, which they will do, will the Leeds team put the queue on the rack? Will they say that's it, we're done?
No,
We're
I think they owed their fans a performance. And I think that Kevin Sinfield isn't the kind of bloke that would say, just go out and have a bit of fun. If you remember last year in the qualifiers, the last game was Leeds and Lee, and the winner of that was just going to finish on top of the qualifier. And Leeds took that game really seriously and actually put in probably the best performance in the qualifier. So I can't see Leeds wanting to take their foot off the gas, which is why it's a really big game for Toronto this week.
Good stuff. People rejoining us, we appreciate that. What have you done? You're blinding me now.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to turn the light off?
No, it's alright. What's that?
I don't know.
Can we just buy Phil a brighter watt bulb?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix.
We would have bought the lamp down, but Scully broke it.
It's going off my old phone, which is not as good, but never mind.
We're back on.
Yeah, John says, in Scully's words, you're rubbish. Ha ha ha. Oh,
that's probably right this week. Yeah. We have had a couple of issues.
That's together by string this program.
It's that time. Like when Featherstone only had 14 men. Yeah. This is like us. We've got 4 men, and we should have 5.
West Wales Raiders only had 12 against Keighley this week.
Keighley must be rubbish because he scored 112.
And they had 10 men as well. At one point, they had one sent off and one sin binned.
Serious point. Yeah, talk and credit them lads that keep turning up because they're just turning up to get their backsides handed to them every week.
Yeah.
And fair play to them. But this is happening more and more now. For me, that game shouldn't have kicked off.
Yeah, absolutely. 2,000 points now conceded by West Wales. And again, we're not talking about a community-based competition. This is semi-professional rugby league. I understand some of the issues that they have, but you cannot start a game with less than the requisite number. You can't have an HIA process. You can't claim that you look after the welfare interests of players if you allow a game to go ahead at semi-professional level with 17 players against 12. You can't do it. The game should have been called off.
I agree.
Should have been. But it wasn't. And is that something that we've got to just sort out now?
The other thing as well is, and credit Keighley for a club record score, that now goes in the books, probably may never be beaten again. You can't see too many occasions Keighley will run up a score of 112. I just feel sorry for the people that were in the record books before them, because I'm not sure that is as competitive a test as it needs to be.
I think 96 points before that. I don't know which team it was, but
you know,
96 were the record. But anyway. Yes.
So what do we do about it? Do we change the rules?
Well, if you can't field 17 players, the game's off, as far as I'm concerned.
But they need to.
This means if you had an academy,
say we won with 14.
No,
if you had an academy,
it's not good enough.
If you had an academy and a reserve, there is no way on earth you wouldn't have 17 players. So even if you're playing the kids.
Exactly. So you don't have the issue, do you? It's not even being brought up, and it's not even being talked about because you've got the numbers there.
And you're not relying on having your squad propped up through the season by dual registration. Some clubs
West Wales, didn't they have a link with Wigan? They were going to help them out.
It seems there should be forfeits and fines for for not having 17 players.
Problem is, you're finding a club that probably hasn't got the resource to pay. I just think there was more of an issue. We said it, probably a third of the way through this season, that in West Wales' best interest, and we want them to prosper. They've got a new coach coming in next year. That apparently the backers are saying that the facility itself is self-funding, that they own in Llanelli. Should they not have been stood down a third of the way through this year? You could see this was going to happen. This is another example of not using foresight rather than hindsight.
We've got Newcastle this week as well, which is a fair trek. Newcastle just hit a bit of form, haven't they? So it's going to be another miserable
building for next year. Newcastle.
Hopefully they might get a few. We'll have a night on the town, can't you, like Newcastle Scully? Why do you go and do 20 minutes for them?
You don't mind Newcastle as well. Why do you do 20 minutes for them?
I'd love to do 20 minutes. What's a corner flag?
You do 20 minutes to get back.
I'll play.
Mind you, in fairness, to be fair, Gary, if we did 20 minutes, there's a good chance 15 of them would be stood behind his own post.
Or kicking off, kick off the sideline.
Kick off in tribute to West Wales.
I'll kick off on the halfway line and just stay there for ball to come back to kick off again.
That pitch is in immaculate condition, but there's 2 ball spots under each goal post.
I want a West Wales heritage number. I could go play for one game and get a number. Great. John says the protein.
We'll sponsor your shirt, mate. Here he comes, the big man off the bench.
Come off again then, though.
You run up the ball, knock it up, and then say, oh, hamstrings
Make
gone.
an
Hamstrings
impact. Make
gone.
an impact. The RSW make an impact.
Teams in the NCL get a huge fine for it, says John. That's not player welfare.
Last time he made a huge impact, he were on the floor outside work when he broke his ankle.
Don't know if I pass a...
He made a big impact on the chicken cottage. Did you see how he ripped in them chicken?
Oh,
he had about 26 pieces, didn't he?
That must be the most important thing for where the Magic Weekend goes, is the availability of chicken cottages nearby.
Indeed.
Didn't realise it was a national chain.
I mean, we're all still excited because, of course, they've moved the game at Anfield at not even late notice, and people kicked off about that. And if anyone has actually complained about that, let us know. If you've got any...
I know that some people were emailing Red Hall this morning about wanting compensation.
Who's got the international games? Is it Sky or the BBC?
BBC.
Is it the BBC? Is it? Right, okay.
Oh, we need to mention the World Cup. Because,
before we do that, Jim Mills is watching.
Big Jim? Oh,
Yeah.
Big Jim. Oh.
Did he
could still turn.
No. Jim had finished by the time I came into it, and boy oh boy, I was pretty happy. Jim Mills, Tony Fisher. I played against Harry Beverley at Workington. And Tony Fisher said to me, "You know what, Scotty?" He says, "If I were playing," he said, I would make sure the player, I would let him set you up for an interception pass, and then would absolutely belt you." I went, "You won't, Tony, because I wouldn't have taken it." No way, mate.
I reckon West Wales could do worse than pick Jim for next week.
Still do a job, Big Jim. Still do a job.
Yeah, good.
Great character.
Yeah.
Brilliant character.
That's a fabulous story.
Yeah.
Poor performance from Germany this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Surprise performance. Not.
Norway and Greece, congratulations. Sis.
Let's not decry the Norwegian performance.
What
which
happened
was
to
super.
Malta as well? Did they get hammered this week?
Yeah, by Greece, which wasn't a surprise. I think the magnitude of it might have been, but a great performance from Greece. But hats off to Norway. Who would have thought they'd been the next round of European qualifying?
Very good.
Against Greece.
Very good. Isn't it ironic that Norway play more international rugby league than England?
Funny that, isn't it?
Everybody plays more international rugby league than England, don't they?
Shall I steal something? Because
Why not? Why not?
Jack Mellor has emailed the Rugby Football League, and Trevor Hunt, friend of us, has retweeted it, so I can just steal it as content. He's emailed the RFL about the game moving, and they've replied. The customer service team, no name.
Enquiries at.
Sorry to hear that you're disappointed with the upcoming London Broncos versus Salford Red Devils fixture amendment. The fixture has been switched at the request of the home team.
That is a mistruth.
Due to broadcast scheduling for the following week's fixtures. While we appreciate that this may cause inconvenience as well, with all fixtures during the season, they are strictly subject to change. Brackets time, date, venue. We hope you enjoy the remainder of the 2018 season. Regards, customer service.
Please join our league.
Yeah. Regards and sod off.
So thanks, Trevor, for retweeting.
But why do London don't necessarily have to change it? It's Salford.
London don't want to change it.
Yeah.
They've been told you've got
It's
to.
Salford that are playing on the Thursday.
But how poor is that then? That the RFL are telling people,
blaming
London
London.
wanted to change it, so we've done it for them.
Well, just covering their own backsides out there as normal. Eh?
But it's only because people don't question it. So we've raised it. Why have you put that email out?
I used to work in customer service when I had a proper job, and we were always told, even if it's not your fault, on the phone, to take responsibility for it, because then people are phoning you, they're not happy because you haven't delivered their bed or whatever, and if you take responsibility,
Would you want a bed that he'd made? Honestly,
well,
would
make
you?
it. I was sat in the office.
I've been in the same room as him, we're all trying to get me like that, eh? Boy, oh boy. Say the more of the conversation.
Just say, we changed it, don't blame anyone else. Take responsibility.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
The other thing as well is, isn't there a time frame that is written into the contract of when you've got to tell people when the fixtures change?
It's ridiculous.
It's laughable, isn't it? It's totally laughable.
It's poor.
It is.
It really is poor.
I'm just going to watch London Scholars youngster Rob Butler smash Fooey Fooey Moi Moi, because Sky have just tweeted it.
All right.
Excellent.
Because he's
Very good.
still famous, he's Fooey Fooey Moi Moi.
Very good. Maggie's made a joke that I think it's at your expense, Gary, so I won't say it, but it was quite fun. No, I can't, 'cause it's quite rude, but I thought it was quite fun.
And the Scholars are not going to Philadelphia either, are
Well,
they?
go on, say what she said then. I
can't, honestly.
Have I got a right to reply?
I'll tell you after, then you reply after. Yeah.
No, the Scholars aren't going to Philadelphia.
Who does Maggie support? I bet she's a Hull fan, isn't she?
I think she's Lee, isn't
Lee,
she?
I'm
Or
going.
Toronto.
Lee?
Yeah. Or Huddersfield.
It's not that
I like
exciting.
the Huddersfield.
No.
It's just a tackle. But Frederick Lloyd was famous.
Yeah. Well, Chris has said the RFL sent the same email out this afternoon blaming Salford. You can't make it up. Now, if Salford...
But not blaming Sky who pay their wages.
It's Robert Elson's fault.
Just for the purpose, right? If Salford have been told they're playing on Thursday, they have a right to
Who's
say,
Salford playing on Thursday?
we cannot play on Sunday.
There's a 5-day...
We need to turn that around.
So it's all right to play against 12 men, but you've got to have 5 days before you play a game, unless it's Easter, when you can play twice in 4.
Simeon wants to know about the no video ref in Toronto. Will that happen when they're in Super League?
Or will it happen, as somebody asked earlier, if the £1 million game is there? With £1 million on the line?
It's a very good question.
Or £1 million, it wasn't on the line. Don't worry.
1.7 million.
It was dropped over the
Canadian
line.
dollars.
Yeah, it was left in a brown... No, don't go there. Don't go there.
So what if the £1 million game is in Toulouse? Because we've not seen, again, the production values from there, have we?
Isn't it bizarre, right, that it could be in London, Toulouse, Canada, Hull, or Leeds?
There is a bloke at Toulouse who films a game
on his phone. Has he got a better lead than I've got?
Perhaps he could be the video ref.
Has he got a better lead than I've got?
Get him here next week to be our producer. Get him here next week.
Yeah, we have put an advert up. People want to know...
You have to pay your own expenses.
Want to know what's happening.
This is how you get work in the media these days.
We could do that. We know other organisations that do that
Pay your own
ruthlessly.
Exploit
young
talent.
people.
If
anyone is out there who's got any talent, young or old, you're more than welcome to come on this show.
And it's all thanks to the unique way they're funded, I understand.
Yeah. Well, ours is the unique way we're funded.
We're not funded.
We haven't got any money and we're skin, and we can't afford a wire for the plug. Never mind. We
The
move
days
on.
when we had a benefactor bankrolling our crazy rugby league schemes. And now,
If
we've been told we should go do an eating challenge or a big breakfast by Phil's sister.
Right. Okay.
But I think are those days behind us now?
I don't think we're on to any kind of gluttonous.
I don't think we need to do an
Let's
eating
do it.
challenge every week. That doesn't work, does it? An eating challenge every week?
Yeah, of course it does.
Does it?
We need to fill up for the...
Have you had your mini?
Well, I need a curry. You owe me a curry. Yeah.
We need to fill up.
Have you had your mini roll?
We need to. No. We need to fill up everything. No, I'm going to wait till that because at half time we've not been delivered a nice cup of tea, have we? You know,
No.
so I can't.
Can't even get a tea boy now.
Can't get a nice cup of tea.
This is gone. I'll tell you what. This is from the moment I forgot my T-shirt. We should have pulled that.
You started it, Steptoe, haven't you? Not turning up like there's no iron team. I keep saying there's no iron team.
If I'm Steptoe and you're Steptoe, who's the horse?
Well, have a look to your right.
It's a bit harsh on you, Rich.
One is the horse and the other one's a jump. Never mind, we'll move on.
That's good.
Anyway, tell me what's around with your barbecue. I'm sorry I couldn't attend.
Yes, Paul. Well attended. Yeah, good. Yeah, and
did you bring us a burger?
A few people who was on the World Cup trip as well. So yeah, it was good and good bit of fun.
Was Belle Isle bouncing on Saturday night?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, good. The DJ
I'd
was
love
on
to live next door to you.
The DJ was in good form and what have you. So everyone had a good time, a few drinks, bites to eat, and a bit of dancing. It was good, mate. Yeah, the weather stayed nice for us.
Can I just ask you, why are you having it in September? Why are you not having it in the summer?
Because I've been working, haven't I? You know, at Keighley doing radio. You know, Keighley at radio. So
do you know what working means? Working.
I never stop.
So every time I come to your house, you sit on your sofa.
Yeah, because
very, very scantily dressed as well.
Because it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
You put me off the mini roll.
We should get photos of him in his.
No, we should.
I was going to take a picture. And it was like, you get murdered on social media.
It's a good job. It's a good job you don't play for South Sydney, isn't it? That's all I'll say.
Yes. What do you make of that?
Why would they done been
It's
well,
all
we don't
alleged.
know, you see,
It's
we don't
all
know.
alleged.
Why would they be nuts themselves, isn't it?
There's no heads in the photo, so we don't know.
Well, they're a calendar, naked calendar.
No, well,
No, we'll move on.
but they are slamming their way into the semi-final, so they might be in the grand final.
So who do you think's going to win the NRL anyway?
Well, that semi-final between the Roosters and South is going to be absolutely.
Who's the other one? Melbourne against Cronulla.
So I just feel as though Melbourne will bore Cronulla to death. You know the way that Melbourne play. So I think Melbourne will beat Cronulla, but Roosters and South, that is going to be brutal. The way when I watched them, I think it's about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I watched, oh boy.
And they don't like each other. There's a real
they don't
history
like each
between.
other. It's going to be a sensational crowd day. It's the last game of the Allianz Four until it gets rebuilt in 2022. So that game is going to be absolutely brutal. And I think with Cooper Cronk from there, the halfback battle's going to be brilliant. Reynolds and Cooper Cronk certainly with a kicking game, but the forward battle, it's going to be absolutely ferocious. Can't wait for it. Can't wait.
You see, you can't wait for that, but you're bored with the rugby over here.
Yeah, we can't wait for the
It's
semi-final.
sad, isn't it?
Fell on board of the rugby over here because it's rubbish. That's why.
It's sad.
It's rubbish.
It's sad.
Everybody else is
looking forward to Hull Catalan on Saturday.
Not all of
Hull
it. is
Catalan.
rubbish.
Do you know what
Steve,
do you know the Hull Catalan game? That realistically could be better than sleeping tablets. But that's
What would you
boring.
rather do? Watch Hull Catalan or jump in the Humber?
In your dressing gown.
Tell you what. I think I'd rather do 25 metres in number. That's how bad that game's going to be, isn't it?
Oh dear.
That's how bad
But
it's
then
you know what, Lee Radford?
not
Listen,
every game can matter.
I'm not putting any blame on Lee, on the performance of the other players because they've given. They couldn't care less for the rest of the season. But he must be thinking, please. Let it be September the 28th soon. Let's get out of it. Let's get 4 weeks off and start pre-season.
It's a really big game to decide who
I'll tell you what.
finishes 7th or 8th.
Oh, for a load of toss.
I would love.
Is it 25 grand?
I would
Load of
love
rubbish.
to count the people that are there because I went the other week when they played Casimir and hardly anyone there.
Well,
Is it 50 grand the difference in?
I think so. Is it
So
50
it's the £50,000 game.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You mean Hull with their millions of supporters in any kind of weather? We're not there. What?
no,
Peter said he'll push you in at the Humber.
what off the bridge?
That's a bit.
I know it's a bit harsh, that, isn't it? Hey, listen,
I mean, I'm not bothered
hold
about
on.
you going in.
Hey,
I'm
listen.
not bothered about the tidal wave it comes.
Hold on, Hull fans. It's 30 years since I got sold. By the way,
He's not a Hull fan. He's a Salford fan. It's Peter.
He's trying to shoot himself up.
But anyway, yeah, with the Hull fans, it's 30 years since you sold me because you were skint.
It's
Salford
25k actually. Who finishes
25. I thought it was 25 in the
What's
championship.
the other pop at me for? Salford fan? Hey, I like Salford.
Why is that light gone off?
I know, I'm slightly concerned about that. Bear with it.
If we've gone off again, this is going to be a disaster.
What's the Salford fan have a pop at me for?
Because they don't like you.
Why?
No, we're still on.
Because they don't like you.
I'm still on, he just
I'm
don't like
always
me.
praising Salford.
You're always praising. You are the king of Salford. You
I
haven't
am.
been no this year, have you?
No,
You don't think you've been once, have you?
no, I don't think I have I?
No.
Send me a few quid in rugby balls.
No.
We're still going, don't panic.
Send me a few quid in rugby balls.
Maggie says we're still on. I said tweet something nice, Maggie.
No, what did she say before, Maggie? What did she say before?
Can't tell you.
She said there's a huge bell on the end of the table.
Bell.
Which there is.
Yeah.
But someone went, no, that's Gary Schofield.
Well, I don't.
You expect that.
Listen, mate, I don't mind it, but that's a bit of banter. I don't take that to heart. It's a bit of banter, isn't it?
It's going to be the best podcast ever this week.
It's going to be well edited together, this podcast.
Surely, it's only a bit of banter. I don't mind a bit of banter with
It
everyone.
was an award-winning programme, Rugby League Growth. This is our homage to it.
We haven't named who
All we need is a better plug.
Yeah.
And Rich to work out how to use a turn which the camera the right way around. That, I mean, you know, it doesn't help. It doesn't help that we haven't got the staff. But we're in administration, pretty much.
I'm gagging. I could do with a cup of tea.
We've got no tea boy, tea girl.
teas.
Right, we've got no one to push the button. We've got no one to plug the phone in.
No flapjack, no
we-
We've got
kids.
no one to
To be
ensure
honest,
we wear the right gear.
We have got a tea here, but we can't get the door open. So we're into it.
Well, you will insist on advertising.
Yeah.
It's all self for
It is,
Norris, haven't
it is.
you? You
We
know.
do need to work out who the referee is, the Superior referee.
Well, that's Phil Bentham there, he's injured.
It's not Ben Taylor because he's not tanned enough. So it can't be Ben Taylor.
That one's got a limp.
Oh, he's got a fantastic collar, hasn't he? That's the thing he has to use.
Yeah.
That's a touch that you've lost his flag.
He's coming on.
Now,
To break up the celebrations of the team that scored.
we have got another team coming next week, so we can actually play
Excellent.
another fixture.
Who's playing next week?
Leeds are coming next week. One of the players is broken though, so it's Leeds PDRL side, so that's good news. It would be Leeds women, but you have to pay more to get more plastic on the Leeds women players. So,
Right, okay.
Be careful. Be very careful.
Dave says what we need is 4 pints on the table. That'd be alright, Dave, but then we've got to get home.
Oh, we're all like on 1 pint apiece, aren't we?
Well, we'll give you the 4 pints. You might talk some more sense then.
I mean, Gary says keep the show going, so that's
No, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere.
No.
We're here next week with a candle.
Yeah, Chris says it's Fred Lindop. It'd be like the launch of BBC Two. For a while.
It does look like Fred.
Which referee sent you off the most?
Billy Thompson.
No, Billy was coming to the end there. He sent me off the Cummins. I think it was Cummins who sent me most times. I mean,
Was it?
Yeah.
With his moustache.
Was he a better ref then than he is a TV ref now?
Well, he's awful on television, so he's got to be a better referee, hasn't he?
Paul says we should get some T-shirts saying 4020 live in crisis. We don't have the copyright to that.
We're doing alright, we're doing alright. Hey, thanks everyone that has stuck with us tonight. I'm pleased actually because we've got off 3 times. We're doing really well in the podcast charts. Please download, subscribe and leave us a review on the podcast charts. That's very nice of you. At iTunes or other various sources are available. We're going to do our predictions shortly.
Could I just say as well, I think it was our friend Bilko that tweeted something earlier today. The crowd at Toronto
Yes.
was higher than all of the crowds in the Championship Shield and Betfred League One put together.
Yes. Now I don't wish to do
Which
countries
is
down.
not to decry the crowds
But
in the lower leagues.
Workington and
When-
Whitehaven were both at home and a combined total of 1,236 off the top of my head.
And both of
1,236.
both of them going for the playoffs.
Yeah.
But that's the fault of them playing Coventry and London. It's their fault.
Oh, no way fans.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Go on the Bears.
So again, York were the last team at Workington and we celebrated the fact that 1,600 people turned up. Why did a proportion of them not go back for the London Scholars game?
Because they're not seeing quality rugby league, Phil. I'll tell you, that's as simple as
But
that.
they did see quality rugby league in the York game.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
a
well-
fabulous game.
Yeah, but against London, it won't going to be quality rugby league, so they won't pay good money. It's 15, 16 quid to get in that to watch, to watch that
It's
level.
not something we need to be looking at.
So, well, they're not going to watch rubbish. Simple as that, mate. It is.
Is it because they knew they were going to win?
Yeah,
Potentially.
you would say so, yeah.
Well, let's hope they don't get promoted and Winders get relegated then, because they won't go watch that game next year, won't they?
We'll see.
It is a serious problem in the game about the quality of rugby league, what we see
But also,
at all levels.
People
It
do
is.
still decry what Toronto are trying to do, and I think there are issues.
Do they give free tickets away?
Well,
Are they all paid?
You know what? Whether they do or they don't, it doesn't matter.
Well, people are still turning up.
It don't matter.
They got nearly 8,000 people, and I think they're saying that David Argyle has done one of his rare interviews on Canadian radio, saying that if they do get into Super League, they're working with the tourist authority in Toronto to accommodate in total over a season 15,000 away fans.
15,000 away fans.
Yeah. Over the course of a season.
Oh,
If they were
sorry,
in-
yeah,
if they were in
not
Super-
all in one
So
go,
they're,
right.
they're saying that on average each
Right.
Super League club will bring
2,000, yeah.
over 1,000 fans. How can we not look at that as a way of spreading the
We
game?
need to
Do
get out. We need to get out there,
X
sell ourselves. We might be doing some shows in
million
Toronto on
pound
a
game?
Monday night.
Do we need to get a £1 million
Hey?
game?
We
Do
can
need to
travel over there on a Thursday and get back on a Tuesday,
Do we
can't
need
we?
to-
If we get an invite to £1 million game, I bet you it'll end up being in Salford.
we need to get Mascot Browns to sell some 4020 live t-shirts.
Get in contact with Argyle and get us over there. We'll sell it to the Toronto people. We'll tell them what rugby league's all about. We'll tell them it's all about getting ripped in. We'll tell them it's all about honesty. And if you don't like honesty and getting ripped in, well, I'm afraid to say, we're not the people for you, because that's what we are, aren't we? The 80.
I can imagine.
We're
that.
the 80.
We turn up at a game and Phil, Richard and I'd overworking really hard, and then we
That's
turn
right.
around at the end of the game going,
You mean
where's
craft
Gary?
beer bit?
And he's there with his back to the field in the beer garden on his 9th pint. Going,
Yeah. Craft beer.
Hold on, I'll be advising the Canadians about rugby league. have a couple of sherbets, have a couple of hot dogs, a couple of burgers. I'd be giving them my experience and telling them what Rugby League's all about. What a great game we've got.
I tell you what, the Rugby Football League need to put our friend Jo from Fev in charge of food, because I saw the cake she was putting out at Fev yesterday.
Cake?
Oh, it looks a lovely cake.
Right, it's prediction time. Thursday, the big one. Huddersfield Wigan. Wigan looking to wrap up a home semi-final with a win.
Yeah.
Or a draw will probably do it.
Well, Huddersfield are off the boil, aren't they? Simon Simon Wolf and I say, well, Huddersfield themselves now, they can't get anywhere near, they're tired. We've had our good run. Wigan, they're just doing the business now, aren't they? At the right time, in good form. I'm going Wigan by 16.
Yeah.
I can't see Wigan losing at this stage of the season. I think that game against St Helens that they won away was that was the we're here to complete the business. I cannot see Huddersfield getting in their way. My bigger worry for Huddersfield, and I think Gary touched on it earlier, was that the accounts that came out this week, another £1.5 million in debt. Can that continue for a Super League team? I don't know.
Well, they've got Ken Derby, yeah.
Richard.
I'm just watching Sky score a try against St Helens. Wigan.
Yeah.
Was Eddie Romwell giving him the ball? No.
Huddersfield, Wigan, Dawn said Wigan all the way. Right.
Who are you going for?
I think Huddersfield are busted.
Yeah.
I think it'll be tight. I'm not sure Wigan are doing what they need to do.
I think they'll start
Saving
playing
it.
as though, yeah. They know they've got a game coming up against Castleford that they're going to have to be at their absolute very best.
Cass v Wakey.
Yeah, well, this will be an entertaining game, there's no doubt about it. They both like to throw the ball about a bit, don't they? And I just feel as though Cass, they just want to keep this momentum going, don't they? And yeah, Wakefield give a good account themselves, but I just feel as though Cass have got a little bit more quality. I'm going Cass by 14.
I think Cass's second half was exactly what they needed last week. The week before, they'd gone off the boil. This week, a bit more of the foot on the throat. Again, like Wigan, I can't see them giving up the opportunity. They have to be in form when they play each other. I think Wakefield have got another couple of injuries, haven't they?
Yeah, well,
Out
Tom
for the
Johnson's
season.
out, yeah, so... Yeah.
Is he definitely out?
Well, I don't know, probably.
I'd be surprised if they play anybody who was a risk. So yeah, I'm going Cass. I think they won quite easily.
Castleford. Yeah.
Rich.
Cass.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cass. I think Wakey will have a good bash here, but the facts. Well, Wakey playing for 5th. Be a good achievement to finish 5th again.
That'll be a great achievement.
So,
but I think their points difference at Huddersfield is such that if we all think Huddersfield are going to lose to Wigan.
Who did Wakey play the last game?
I've no idea.
I've got a feeling. Is it Warrington?
I'll find out.
We'll have a look at that. I'm going to go Cass, but just. And I think just because. But then again, what if Wigan win on thingy? They've not to play for Cass.
That's what I said earlier, wasn't it? But Cass, they want to go keep it.
They need form.
Well, here's a question. Here's a question for the master coach. What does Darryl do? What does Darryl do? Does he rest someone this week with a view to playing his full team at St Helens the week before the playoffs?
That's what I said earlier.
So might he leave a few out this week then? If potentially
we won't know that until after the game on Thursday, the Wigan result. So that could happen. But still, I still feel as though what he will bring in, it'll still be far too much for Wakefield.
Yeah, Warrington do play Wakey. Wakey played Warrington the last week. Warrington, you would feel may rest some for the thing. Well, all right, okay. Good luck with that. Hull Catalan. This is a big one. This is the one they're all waiting to see.
What did you say then? What did you say? What fixture was that?
Hull Catalan.
Borefest, absolute Borefest, and whichever fans turn up, try and enjoy it, because I would imagine it's going to be an absolute rubbish game of Rugby League. Hull have finished, the players could care less, they can't wait till the end of the season. I'm going Catalans by 10.
Josh Drinkwater on his way out of Catalan, it would appear to have been confirmed.
Okay.
I can't see anybody other than Catalan winning this. I think the season cannot come to an end soon enough for Hull. Steve McNamara back on his home turf, he'll want to enjoy that. Yeah, Catalan.
Rich?
I'd say there'd be points, but I don't think Hull can score any.
Toby's asked us to predict this one in terms of the crowd.
I'm going
I
less
think
than...
there'll be more points than there will be.
Less than 5,000, I would say. They'll announce it as 10, there'll be less than 5.
They'll include all the season ticket holders. So.
Catalan, ole.
Yeah, full house then for the Dragons. Warrington against St Helens. Saturday at 3:15.
Well, the scoreline the week before against Wigan didn't justify the game, did it? I didn't think, but I say Warrington, they still they're still creating plenty. They'll do exactly the same against St Helens.
We're going to meet again in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're going to meet.
This will be the phony war.
Yeah, they're going to meet again in a couple of weeks. Warrington won't forgot the defeat by 2 points with the Richardson penalty goal a couple of weeks ago. I'm going for Warrington to turn St Helens over. I'm going Warrington by 10.
Saints for me. I think Saints are now in. We need to get to the grand final mode. It's putting down a marker against the team that stands in their way. I think they rested a couple this week as well. I can't say anything other than the Saints win.
Rich?
St Helens.
I'm going to go for Warrington. So we split on that one. That's good.
You agreeing with the legend again?
Yeah, I know. So well done, lads. On that one. Right, let's look at what's going on in the middle of the qualifiers. Toronto Widnes.
Yeah, Toronto are far too much for Widnes, won't they? And they've got a little bit more quality, a lot more quality, to be honest with you, Toronto.
How well is Joe Mellor going to play, given that he's going to be signing with
the Vultures have pinched one of the prey from Widnes, haven't they, the Toronto? So
Not yet.
I think Toronto. Stop sticking up for your mate, Phil. Stop sticking up for your mate. Toronto are far too much class. I'm going Toronto by 16.
Phil?
Widnes.
Oh,
Keep their season alive.
Kaplan, honestly. Phil, you just make people shake their head. Stop sticking up for your mate.
Richard?
People, before I say it, people on the internet, stop moaning that Toronto play the anthem before their games. It's what they do in North America, Toronto.
Yeah, I have to go with that one. And see if James Rowe blames the ref, because apparently it's the ref's fault that they lost 17 games on the trot.
It was.
Right, okay.
Did you not know that?
Well, why did he sack
I heard commentary were blaming the ref.
That was the ref's fault as well.
Yeah, why did he sack Dennis Betsy as the referee?
Toulouse Hull KR.
Yeah, this is an interesting one, isn't it? You know, Toulouse, they're still trying for that £1 million game from there. This will be a test for Rovers, and I think that Toulouse, with that sniff of the MPG game, I'm going for Toulouse. I'm going Toulouse by 7.
I think my only worry for Toulouse is this coming back from Toronto might play out for them. It depends as well whether Sean Lunt and Danny Maguire are going to be fit. Obviously they didn't play this week. I have a feeling again that Toulouse will just sneak this and throw the whole thing wide open again. If they don't, then they're out of it, but I have a sneaky feeling that their unorthodox style of play might just catch KR out.
Rich?
I am going to go for Toulouse.
I am going to go for Hull KR. Because I think they've had so many injuries, right, and they've found a way to win, and I just can't help but feel Toulouse losing last week might have been their final chance.
And the manner in which they lost as well.
Yeah, exactly. Halifax Leeds.
Well, this will be again. This might be like the whole Catalans game, boring to be honest with you. But no, Halifax don't like to play boring rugby league. Leeds, they're happy just to get wins a win. They'll just be lucky to get that win again. Yeah, they've got far too much quality, surely, for Halifax. Surely to put up a good show and to win by a few points. I'm going Leeds by 24.
You've got another curry on this. You do know that, don't you? With Matt Shaw.
Yeah, he's given me 16 star.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'll give him 16
you
star.
will win that bet.
Yeah, I think Richard Marshall said this week that he's going to give some of his younger players a chance, that now that they know it's all about gaining experience rather than anything else. I just think that...
How many, Phil? How many? Just talk to me.
I don't know, I don't do points. But
How many?
The only saving grace for Leeds at the moment is that their defence has suddenly got quite good. So
Richard?
Well, TV's Andrew Stats Dalton. He's never off the telly these days.
I know.
Is he? He's on
do the top button up, Stats. I don't want to see all that.
How is it the stats anyway?
He's alright, yeah, he's alright. Yeah. He's sending us the stats in about Halifax in Super League.
Rhinos have a hit and miss record at Halifax in Super League. Played 8, won 3, lost 5. That one of those wins must have been that season.
Easter
Halifax
Monday
were awful.
Easter Monday, they paraded a coffin round. Because mergers were on the agenda, Leeds were the opponents.
Every game does that. Every game does that with thinking having it, hopefully.
Adrian Morley
Yeah, they couldn't carry it.
Adrian Morley make his debut at Halifax, I think.
Leeds.
How many?
Kevin Tipfield was very complimentary towards Halifax in the press
Yeah,
conference.
I think Leeds will win by 40.
40?
Yeah, I think they'll batter them. I think Leeds can score points, we know that. And I think the pressure's off now.
And Salford got nearly 60, didn't they, against
64 they got.
Yeah,
64.
I just think it's a game too far for Halifax. And the final one is London-Salford.
Yeah, London, again, they're in the last chance to run out for the MPG game, so... But Salford, they want to wrap it up, they want to make sure they're in the Super League survival, so I'm just going Salford, but I don't think it'll be by many. I'm going Salford by 10.
Sense of injustice at Salford after the way they were defeated at Leeds, so I think they'll take that into the game. Just hope London make a really good start, and we'll see what both teams are made of. I'm not sure. I'd like to think maybe London could give it one last go, but I think Salford are too good for them.
Because I know the new head of PR for 4020 Live is a Salford fan. I'm going for Salford.
Can they work at Canberra?
I'm going for London. Well, I think London will win. I think it's all on the line for London.
So, do you think Toulouse will beat Hull KR? Do you think Hull KR will beat Toulouse? I'm just trying to work out your... You think Toronto will
I think
Toulouse will lose?
I think Leeds and Hull KR will guarantee their place in Super League this weekend.
And Salford? Oh, not Salford.
Salford will have to wait one more week.
Well, I think with 112 points difference,
they should be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you think Toronto will beat Widnes,
Yeah.
you think London will beat Salford, but you think Hull KR will beat Toulouse, so you're planning on a Toronto-London £1 million game?
I am. That's where I'm going.
Interesting.
It's after 8 o'clock.
Well, we're a bit late.
We owe people a few minutes.
We do.
I should tell people we're now on the Stitcher podcast app.
Do tell them that.
So we're on Stitcher now.
Can you explain that story to the listeners?
Oh, what?
Personally,
Personally,
I'm subscribing to it on everything, so I can get the listeners up. But that's what I'm doing.
no, we don't need to do that.
Watching the videos on every YouTube I can find.
We will tweet out a winner of the magazine.
Yes,
shortly.
with pleasure.
Thank you to everyone that stuck with us, because we had a few technical issues. As in, I've got a dodgy lead on my phone. Our producer has left. I should have had a black armband.
Although hopefully,
We'll make sure you have the black t-shirt on next week. You know, we are
what
a
I'm
team.
worried
There's
about
no
here, right,
team.
is you're going to warn that, right, for the next 10 weeks it'll never get washed.
Yes, it will.
yeah,
So you left it here last week.
No, because Phil's wife's going to wash
You
it for
mean
me.
she does the dusting with it, you know that.
Well, no, she could dust it as long as she washes it after. So Phil's wife Ross is washing it for me. Don't worry about that. Eh?
good
Not
luck.
an issue.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well done.
What should we
That's it.
next week? That's the concern.
We will be back on Monday. Look out for various content throughout the week. Thanks to everyone that has liked, subscribed and commented on the podcast. Please do that. You don't know how important that is for us here. Rich is off to press the button. Thanks to Phil for his excellent hospitality. Thanks to the legend as ever. We look forward to seeing him jumping in the Humber on Saturday. We'll be there to film it. It'll be live on 4020 Live.
Well done.